is for everyone. Whether you're worth $4,000 or $40 million, estate planning can help protect you, your family, and your assets while you're alive and well. Damn. To register for an upcoming workshop today, go to chawlalegal.com/workshops or call 586-273-7157. Again, that's chawlalegal.com/workshops or call 586-273-7157.
What the Rock is cooking.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
What is up, everybody? I'm here by myself, ready to fuck this shit up, because I'm already doing it. It's Sunday. There is so much wrestling happening right now. January is an extremely busy month for the sport that we love. We're going to talk all about it today. And by we, I mean me. And then I've got other guys coming. It's really shitty in the state of Michigan right now. So we'll get there, I promise. But we are going to be here. And we will. We will.
The ring down. Woo! You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Rise to the top, oh yeah. Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. You just made the list.
This right here is a family.
Hey, this is professional wrestler and professional podcaster Colt Boom Boom Cabana.
My name is Killer Cross.
This is The Smoke Show, Scarlett Bordeaux.
What's up, guys? The F Machine, Brian Cage.
This is Ryan from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Sadly, you are not listening to The Art of Wrestling, but you made a decent choice because you're listening.
You are now listening to...
When you're listening...
And you're listening to...
You listen to Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring. Break it down.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
It is damn true. You are listening to the most inappropriate motherfucking podcast in the motherfucking world. Fuck! You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring. I am your ring crew, Nick, and I am flying solo at the moment. Here in the state of Michigan, we have a little something called weather. More unpredictable weather than almost anywhere in the country. There was some shitty news earlier in the week about how we were going to get some kind of weird ice, sleet, snow, rain, sunshine, 80 degrees, 50 degrees, minus 48 degrees, all kinds of fucked up weather, and it happened in our area. Not a lot of snow, but the roads are really slick, and it wasn't too bad on my way in this morning, but the parking lot here at Podcast Detroit is a skating rink, so we're waiting on Z. He's on his way. Mikey, unfortunately, had some circumstances that will keep him off the show today. We wish him and everybody he's affiliated with and his family and all that, all the best. But he will be back next week. So for right now, it's just me. It's me. I'm not going to finish that because you know where that's going to go. There is a lot to talk about. There is so much going on right now, and we say that every week. And some weeks there's more, some weeks there's less. But right now, this month of January is so fucking packed with all kinds of wrestling from multiple promotions. There's 48 different pay-per-views packed into 31 days in the month of January. There's so much happening right now. It is a great time to be a fan of professional wrestling. And if you've been teetering on the fence I'm bored with this product, or this product is lacking in storylines or talent, or if there's one that you're not really too cool with, check out something else. You've got WWE product, you have AEW, you have NWA, you have Impact Wrestling, New Japan. I mean, there's just so much to choose from that you really can't go wrong. So, and it's all very easily accessible. So there is no reason that you shouldn't be as involved as we are. If you are a fan of the sport, definitely check out some or all of it. We try and watch as much as we can on a weekly basis, and it's not easy, but regardless of that fact, so tonight, and we usually don't kick things off with Impact. Me, myself, personally, I don't have a lot of experience watching Impact Wrestling. Lately, I've been trying to get more and more into it, and it's a really good product that I think a lot of people are skipping out on. They just I think some people, when they're not familiar with the product as much as they are with, like, say, WWE or what have you, they immediately kind of shy away from it because it does take some time to get yourself invested into the product and the wrestlers and everything that they have going for them. But tonight could very well indeed be an historic event. I'm talking about Impact Wrestling, of course. I'm talking about Hard Times. Their pay-per-view tonight could have the first female world champion. And I'll say first, Smitty had mentioned, in Lucha Underground there was, a champion. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, and Smitty's not here, unfortunately, to guide me. But Tessa Blanchard tonight taking on Sami Callihan in the main event of Impact Hard Times. Again, she has the opportunity to become the first women's world heavyweight champion in nearly any promotion. This is something that's huge for females of the sport. If you haven't checked out Tessa Blanchard's work, do it. Go to YouTube. Go to wherever you'll be able to see Impact Wrestling and check it out. But tonight she will be taking on, like I said, Sami Callihan, who's the current Impact World Champion. We'll talk a little bit more about Tessa here in a few minutes. I want to wait for Z to show up. She's gone through a couple things here over the last 24 to 48 hours that, of course, all of a sudden you're getting in the spotlight, and then here it comes, a tidal wave of people trying to drag you down and digging up dirt that you may or may not have, expressed in your opinions and comments in the past. But we'll talk about that in a little bit because it is something that's pretty serious. Needless to say, like I said, Hard Times tonight. You've got that main title match in the main event. Tessa Blanchard, Sami Callihan. You also have the Impact Knockouts Championship match with Taya Valkyrie, who's your current champion, taking on Jordan Grace and ODB. Huge fan of ODB here on the show. She's a friend of ours. She's done a lot for the sport over the years. It should be a great match. It's a triple threat. You also have the Impact X Division Championship match with Ace Austin, your current champion, taking on Trey. Impact World Tag Team Championship match with the North, who are your current champions, taking on Willie Mack and Rich Swann, who has been doing incredible things with Impact. Upon his departure from WWE, moving on, he is really making a name for himself in that promotion. So, kudos to that guy. He's doing a lot of really good things over there, and it's good to see that. Michael Elgin and Eddie Edwards, Rob Van Dam, Brian Cage. You have Moose versus Rhino and Madman Fulton versus Ken fucking Shamrock. This is all happening tonight. Impact, Hard to Kill. Make sure you check it out. However you need to do it. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. Pay-per-view. You can definitely something that you want to invest your time in if you haven't already. Mikey, Smitty, these guys have been just putting Impact Wrestling over during our last 8 shows. I mean, Jesus Christ. Ever since Impact went on television on Access, Mikey and Smitty really have been at the forefront of putting these guys over, and I'm telling you, they're not steering you wrong. So definitely check out Impact Wrestling. We'll get back to Tessa Blanchard in a little bit when I have when Z shows up here. In the meantime, we always have Raw and SmackDown, NXT, AEW every single week, and we've been talking a lot about how it's a new year and we have all these expectations, and we've done a little bit of fantasy booking here in the last couple weeks, what we would like to see over the course of the next year, who we might like to see take a step up and actually do something and make a name for themselves in 2020. That's all going to kick off the road to WrestleMania. The end of this month, we've got the Royal Rumble. We have NXT Worlds Collide that same weekend. But before all that, today in, 48 minutes, we have NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2. This is a huge, huge event for the NXT UK brand. And again, another one of those promotions where if you're not familiar with them, what are you doing? I mean, if you're the casual fan and you're getting bored with some of this stuff because it's just not your cup of tea, invest your time in these other promotions because they are going to blow your mind. And NXT UK is one of those promotions. They are doing a fantastic job. And they've got their pay-per-view on the WWE Network. If you've got it, there's no reason that you shouldn't be tuning in just under an hour. You can have us playing at the same time. Comment, tell us what's happening. Tell us, I don't give a fuck. Give us some spoilers. Let's hear what you have to say if you're going to be watching the pay-per-view while you're listening to us. And if not, check it out later. It's at noon. There's a lot going on this weekend. But definitely a really good promotion. There's a lot going on. We're going to talk about with the NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool. For every pay-per-view, we have pro wrestling scorecards who are friends of ours that we it's basically, and if you've been listening to the show at all, you know what it is. It's fantasy wrestling at its finest. It's not just going in there and making picks of the matches. It's more than that. You're gonna actually have side bets on each one of these matches. Who's the first person to climb the ladder? Who's the first person to touch the belt? How many pinfall attempts? Are they going to use weapons? There's all these little side bets on each and every match, and you score it appropriately, and it tells you right there how to score it. You can either print it out, or if you've been lucky enough, you can get in on their beta test for their mobile app, their digital scorecards. It's so much fun, and it adds a huge element to these pay-per-views that just make them that much more exciting. So we're going to be making picks. As soon as Z shows up here, we're going to make some picks and tell you, who we are going to be going with on our pro wrestling scorecards. As far as the TakeOver event itself, a really huge card, as always. The last TakeOver event for NXT UK was a great show. It was nearly a year ago. And man, these people overseas, they are just so hot the whole night. I mean, that added element, that small, intimate crowd, it kind of reminded me of this. And again, this is the last UK TakeOver. It reminded me of an old school Raw where it was, 1,000 people, if you were lucky, in that building, asses and elbows, just going ham for these matches the whole night. And it just, again, one of those things that if you haven't checked it out, it's a lot of fun to watch, and make sure you do. So coming up here in just a little bit, again, now we're approaching about 45 minutes away from this show kicking off. We have Trent Seven and Eddie Dennis. They're going to go one-on-one. Tyler Bate and Jordan Devlin. The NXT UK Tag Team Championship 4-way ladder match. Anytime NXT or NXT UK puts on a ladder match, it is fucking gold. I wouldn't be surprised to see this match kick things off. You've got Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang, who are the current champions. They're going to be taking on Imperium's Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner. Also, the Grizzled Young Veterans will be in this match, as well as the team of Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. This is going to be one of the matches of the night, if not the match of the night. Again, 4-way ladder match for the UK Tag Team Championship. Don't miss that. If you're not going to watch the whole pay-per-view, watch that match. NXT UK Women's Championship match. Also, you've got the current champion, Kaylee Ray, against Piper Niven, against Toni Storm. Triple threat match. Excuse me. Triple threat match. Should be another classic. I picked Toni Storm in that one. I'm not a fan of either of the other, especially Kaylee Ray. She just bugs the shit out of me. I think Toni Storm, it's time for her to bounce back, get that championship win. And it would line her up to face Rhea Ripley at Worlds Collide later in the month. But again, I'm getting into picks, and I do want to wait for Z to get here. But you also have the United Kingdom Championship match. A lot of people, from what I've been reading, were a little upset with this match when it first came about. You've got the current NXT UK champion Walter against Joe Coffey. Joe Coffey is he's the brother of Mark Coffey, who will be in the NXT UK Tag Team Championship match earlier in the night. I wouldn't sleep on Joe Coffey. I don't foresee him getting this win at any stretch of the imagination, but I think he'll put up a really good fight with Walter, and it should be a good match to close out the night. I would assume that would be your main event, but at any rate, it's a good card. You've got 5 solid matches, and that's the thing about any NXT product, whether it's the one here in the States or in UK. They don't need to fill the card with 7, 8, 9 matches that are going to some of them are just fodder. I'm going to do that shit. Even though I'm by myself, I'm going to drink my coffee. But like I was saying, even if it's just, you've got 8 or 9 matches, which are typically on a traditional WWE card, and again, some of them tend to be fodder, and it can get you a little disconnected from that pay-per-view. With these NXT pay-per-views, consistently, you're going to get 5 matches, at least based on from what I've seen over the last year. All these NXT pay-per-views consist of 5 matches. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a really good show. Again, don't miss it. It starts in 41 minutes. I couldn't find the clock to look at to give you an accurate time. But it starts in 41 minutes. Put it on mute, and keep listening to my ass, okay? It's going to be a really good show. If you can't check it out right now, check it out later. Whatever you got to do to watch that shit, because it's going to be probably one of the pay-per-views of the month, honestly, and there's a lot of them. So, yeah, we'll make our picks for that. Again, we do pro wrestling scorecards, as you all know. When Z gets here, we'll talk about that. In the meantime, we can dive in and talk about the week that was. This week in wrestling, you know what? We're going to start with the ratings. Before I even talk about the results and my opinions on all the shows this week, let's talk about the ratings, because that is something that the wrestling community is paying very close attention to every single week. For Raw actually put out a decent showing with 2.385 average, viewership for the whole night. Obviously with it being a 3-hour show, that viewership steadily declines as the night goes on. But, Raw, for me, it was a decent show. It wasn't the worst show I've ever seen. And, it was just kind of average. But, we'll talk about that. But, Raw hit that 2.385 million viewership for the show. As far as SmackDown is concerned, it was a little early to get these ratings. They were just like the real quick overnight ratings because typically those Friday night shows, we don't see the full impact, no pun intended, until Monday. But you did see SmackDown do an average of 2.503 million viewers. So they've been consistently beating Raw, and that's something that Fox was looking for. I don't think that Fox was really, fuck off. I don't think that Fox is looking for numbers that low. Not to say they're low, but they need to do some work there.
Oh, so you already started the show, eh?
I already started it.
The roads are fucking insane.
I didn't have a lot of trouble.
That one turn after Mound, though,
yes.
It looked like there was a blizzard just right there in that 100-foot stretch.
My street was a fucking ice rink.
Yeah, my driveway, my street. It wasn't until I got to like 9 Mile that it started to clear up, but there was still a couple spots. Either way.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
I'm not.
Did you fall in the parking lot?
Mm-mm.
I almost did.
Nope. When you told me that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna wear my tennis shoes so I don't fucking fall.
Right now, I'm talking a little bit about the ratings. Raw had 2.3 million viewers. SmackDown 2.5. I don't think that those numbers are going to be for SmackDown what Fox wants to see down the line. Obviously, they're going to probably want to see over 3 million viewers. But
3 to 4, I would assume.
But they're steadily increasing. They go down a little bit, but not a lot. They're not taking these huge dips like Raw sometimes.
I mean, it's kind of like WWE stock. it's not making huge leaps or huge holes, but it's steadily, up and down, just, a point here, point there.
As far as NXT and AEW, NXT's ratings were
721 or something like that.
Yep, 721,000. AEW
was like 984.
I was hoping you'd hit it. I was like, damn.
Was it 980? What was it?
967.
Ah, okay.
Yep. So that's a really big gap. That's 240,000 viewers more going from AEW to NXT. And for a while, we were seeing a slight, a really small window between the two. What about him? Is he coming?
His Uber is outside right now, and Smitty's not outside. Smitty, if you're listening, your Uber's outside.
Your Uber's there waiting for you. Get your ass. Bring your ass. The ratings this week, AEW winning those Wednesday Night Wars, and I didn't really expect NXT to win the January 1st edition because, I mean, it was kind of like a highlight show and a best of and awards and whatever. But
you're talking about from the first, right?
Yeah. Now, this week I expected them to bounce back, and they didn't.
They did a little bit.
A little bit.
They went from like 680 something to 721. But that was overnight views. I don't think that includes like going back and watching it.
I don't know. They had a couple weeks there where they were starting to beat AEW, and
they'll be fine.
Oh yeah,
I'm not real worried about it. And it's one of those things where you have to pick what to watch, and people choose one or the other, and it's consistent, but it's not very consistent. Like some days people watch NXT, especially after that takeover angle.
Yeah.
They, drew more eyes. Now that you're coming off the high of the takeover angle, now you're back to, AEW's definitely stepped their game up. Mm-hmm. This past week was one of the better shows in the 15 weeks they've been on air. It was a solid show all the way around, where I couldn't say that the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's definitely a reason they overtook NXT this week.
Sure.
But going forward, I mean, we'll see what happens,
They'll probably
especially
flip-flop.
after Takeover Blackpool.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably going to put some big names on that just to get eyes over there.
Okay, so we'll go back into Takeover Blackpool. I'm going to backtrack a little bit because I went over the card and the matches that are going to happen, but since it's going to start in 34 minutes, you made your picks.
I literally just put in my last 4 unscheduled appearances, as I was pulling into the parking lot, because I was like, oh, it ends at 12 or 11:30.
Perfect. So we'll go over our picks, and we don't have to go over them in depth.
Okay.
I got to pull mine up.
Yeah, I got mine right here.
All right, so Trent Seven and Eddie Dennis. Who you got?
I got Dennis going over.
I've got Dennis going over as well.
I just figured Trent Seven's a veteran, so they're probably using him here to get a younger talent over in Eddie Dennis. So the right booking move if you're trying to build new stars in the UK would be to have have them put on a decent match, but then have Dennis go over, and then it shows like, oh, hey, he went over Trent Seven, so like, hey, this guy's somebody to watch. You know?
And by the way, if you haven't already filled out your card, you only have 2 minutes and 10 seconds to do it. So
yeah, Smitty, it's like getting to the Uber. You gotta fill it out.
Tyler Bate and Jordan Devlin. Who you got?
I got Finn Balor Jr. going over.
Okay, Jordan Devlin.
Yep.
In the NXT UK Tag Team Championship match, this is Gallus versus Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. The Grizzled Young Veterans versus Imperium. I've got Imperium.
Yeah, so do I.
Okay.
Because I think they're going to do the whole era thing where they hold all the gold.
And this is one of those matches I was talking about earlier where if you haven't done pro wrestling scorecards, there's a lot of different loops that they interweave with this, like who's the first to get hit with the ladder, who's the first to climb the ladder, first to touch the belt. Those kind of things will make the difference on your scorecard.
Who's your first hit with the ladder?
Wolfgang.
Yeah, I got James Drake. And then I got Mark Andrews first to climb and Wolfgang being the first to touch the belt.
I've got Fabian Eichner first to climb and Marcel Bartel the first to touch.
And what about the non-weapons used?
Yes.
Yep.
The NXT UK Women's Championship match, Kaylee Ray versus Toni Storm versus Piper Niven. I've got Toni Storm.
Gee, Nick, why'd you pick Toni Storm? Is it because you saw her on Wednesday night?
Could be.
All right, so
she's going to put that title resting on her ass.
Side note here. I remember when they leaked Toni Storm's photos.
Mm-hmm.
And she, in said photos, she looked fit, but nowhere near as thick as she looked on Wednesday night. I did not pick Toni Storm.
Okay.
Strictly from a booking aspect, she's facing Rhea Ripley at Worlds Collide for the title, so I don't think she's winning this title. So I have Kaylee Ray retaining and Piper Niven taking the fall.
Okay. I did originally have Kaylee Ray. But then when Toni Storm came out on Wednesday and she was like, title versus title, I like that story a little more. I don't think they're going to give her Rhea's title.
That's more of a takeover match
than
a Worlds Collide match.
Okay.
Just in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I could totally be wrong. That's the beauty of these prediction scorecards. But I think they're going to move Toni Storm to NXT.
Okay.
Kind of help build up a roster that's not just Shayna Baszler dominating. So you'll have Rhea Ripley, you have Toni Storm, which is already a rivalry, and then you can build up. Not that Candice LeRae needs building up, but you can have her continue to chase, kind of do her own Johnny Gargano little storyline.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
That's probably going to come back to bite me in the ass because I'll go through and I'll make my picks, and then if I ever change them,
I have the same problem.
Fucked.
I'm like, I'll do them like just this, and then I'll start putting thought into it. And I'm like, I should switch this one, and then I was right the first time. Just like any test I've ever taken.
Yep, you overthink it, and then you're fucked.
And way to put a pun in there too. Tony Storm's big ass biting the ass.
Yeah. Our next match, we've got the NXT UK Championship match, Walter versus Joe Coffey. I've got Walter going over.
Of course.
I still think it'll be a good match.
I got it at 25 minutes.
I have 19 minutes.
Okay. I was going to put 20, and then I was like, maybe. Because Walter works a slower style, and Joe Coffey's a bigger guy as well.
Yeah.
So I just figured it'd probably get to like a technical kind of match at some point, but it'll start off kind of slow and maybe build.
Yeah.
At least what I'm hoping for.
Regardless, again, I mean, if you're listening to us, put this shit on in the background, put it on mute so you can keep listening to the shit that we talk. If you can't, check it out later on today sometime, because NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2 is going to be a solid, one of the better pay-per-views of the month.
And unlike every other pay-per-view, it's only going to be about 2 hours long, guys. It's worth the watch. And it's going to be fantastic wrestling.
Yep, as always.
From start to finish. So who'd you put for your unschedules?
I've got Rhea Ripley, Pete Dunne.
Me too.
Matt Riddle.
I don't have Matt Riddle.
Alexander Wolf.
Yep, I got the wall. That was a given. Like, okay, two of Imperium's wrestling, Walter's wrestling, so Alexander Wolf's got to come out, right?
And then I'm probably wrong in this one. I put Sheamus.
I put Cassius Ohno.
Oh, okay.
He's
he's
part of the roster.
I didn't even think about
and
that.
Then I have Rhea Ripley, Pete Dunne, Alexander Wolf, Cassius Ohno, and then Shayna Baszler. Because I just figure if Ripley's there, maybe Shayna comes out and attacks her.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that was fun. That's the show for today, guys. That was fun.
Yep, we'll see you guys next week.
And then when's our next one? Next week for Hard Times? Yeah. Oh, no, 2 weeks. 2 weeks for Hard Times. Two weeks for Worlds Collide. 2 weeks for Royal Rumble.
Back to back to back.
Fucking A.
I apologize earlier. I feel like when I was talking about Impact's pay-per-view tonight, I might have called it Hard Times because it's hard to kill.
Yeah, it's whatever.
If I did, I apologize. I'm not 100%. I don't know. It's too fucking early.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's not even a scorecard on here, so it's not even on my radar.
Yeah. And that's why I was hoping, when Smitty gets here.
What is the card for tonight? Have you looked it up yet?
Yeah. Okay. Tonight you've got Sami Callihan, Tessa Blanchard, of course. Tessa going for the title. For the title.
Okay, cool.
Ty Valkyrie, Jordan Grace, ODB in the Impact Knockouts Championship. Ace Austin and Trey for the X Division. The North versus Willie Mack versus Rich Swann for the World Tag Team Championship. Michael Elgin, Eddie Edwards, Rob Van Dam and Brian Cage. Moose and Rhino.
Wait, hold on.
Yep.
Backtrack. Rob Van Dam versus Brian Cage.
Yep.
All right, the whole fucking show is here.
He's here. Moose and Rhino, and then Madman Fulton and Ken Shamrock.
No Hit Squad? No Ryu Achu or... Sorry, Akeem Zayn. I just don't... You got so many different names.
Yeah, when Smitty gets here, we'll talk a little bit more about that because I mentioned earlier in the show, she's got some controversy surrounding her over the last 24 hours or so.
Who's that?
Tessa Blanchard.
Why? What's the controversy? They found her penis?
They did, but it wasn't as big as people expected it to be.
So it was like super clit. Got it.
So... it always got to go into the super clit. It's like a finger.
Yeah, exactly. Show them your small fan. It's like that. It's like that. Yeah, see
that? Flick it.
8,000 nerves right there, guys. 8,000 nerves.
That's for another show. No, she had made some remarks to a lot of the quite a few different female wrestlers in different promotions. They were
calling them out.
No, in the past, like bullying. The N-word was used at some point in time.
And there's like proof, evidence of this, or this is just hearsay?
No, not necessarily hard evidence, but there's who was it that initially came out and said, Allison Kay came out and said, remember when you spat in a black woman's face and called her the N-word in Japan? Was that you? All this is stemming from because Tessa Blanchard tweeted out yesterday like a positive type tweet. You know, she said, where did it go?
Or just like an inspirational kind of thing?
Something like that. Like, let's just all support each other. I'm sorry I don't have the original tweet.
And everyone that she's spit on, no pun intended, along the way is coming out and being like, hey, cool, you want to be positive now, but let's talk about 6 months ago when you did this, or a year ago when you did that kind of shit.
Yeah. And
so
then,
it's like the Lars Sullivan treatment, only there's no gay porn involved.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
No dick sucking yet.
Well, maybe. I mean,
yeah.
It's small pinky.
That's right. NXT UK wrestler Isla Dawn, she tweeted out, as someone who experienced your bullying firsthand, received irregular verbal abuse, was spat on, had rumors spread about me, dealt with multiple attempts by you to blacklist me from other companies, plus more. I just pray you now follow your own advice. Even AEW up-and-comer Shanna, she said she did more nasty stuff in Japan. Never forget. Practice what you preach, sweetheart.
Now, I have a question. And, I mean, this goes back to the old days of wrestling. Obviously, spitting in somebody's face is unacceptable, regardless of which way you look at it. Mm-hmm. But at what point does it go from just hazing the younger talent to bullying? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, obviously there is a line, and we all know that. But what is the line? Like, what is the gray area between hazing? Obviously not spitting in somebody's face. I mean, that's just straight up disrespectful. That's not hazing. That's like frat boy bullshit.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as like picking on somebody, just to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. I'm not like saying, hey, all bullying is okay, but I played team sports growing up, and you kind of razz the new guy.
Sure.
Like even in my field of work, I'm an apprentice in the Ironworkers Union, so there's a little bit of hazing there. Some guys are more extreme than others because some guys are more old school than others, and as we all know, back then certain shit was okay, and today it is not.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I'm in a field where, you kind of give the new guy a little bit of shit just to see if they can take it.
Yeah.
Like trying to like strengthen them mentally without breaking them. Like your goal is not to break them,
you're just busting their balls.
Yeah, exactly. And just to make sure they can take it, because there's a certain level of stress in our field of work that if you can't take it, you probably shouldn't be here. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming the wrestling world's the same way. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're on the road most of the time. And it's a lot different than it was old school. Old school, you work 364 days a year. Now you have, Wednesday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, Thursday off, and then you go back into your weekend schedule with live events and shit like that. And I think AEW, they only do TV, and then when they're not on TV, guys, if they want to make money, they go to other promotions, independents, and do their own thing, and then they just have to be back for TV on Wednesday.
Right.
Is my understanding of it. And, obviously they have pay-per-views and payouts and shit like that. So, I mean, it's a lot different than it used to be, but Tessa Blanchard is Tully Blanchard's daughter, and she was probably raised in that old school environment, because him and Arn are as old school as it gets.
Right.
Not defending any of her actions. I'm just saying maybe what some people consider bullying, she was like, oh, I was just giving him a hard time. No, not saying she didn't cross a line. Mm-hmm. And especially if she did spit in a black woman's face and call her the N-word, that's completely unacceptable no matter where you are in the fucking world. I mean, you're supposed to be a fucking professional. Mm-hmm. So
that's my thing too, is, if she gave people shit like Shanna or Allison Kay, and maybe they misconstrued it as bullying or whatever the case may be. Like you said, I mean, the bottom line is grow a set, first of all. I mean, you're in that line of work. Like, you know, if I came to work with you as an iron worker and, you know, all your coworkers are just fucking razzing me and giving me shit, as an adult, you got to know they're just doing it to fuck with you. And like you said, to see how far they can go and see if you're that type of person too.
And give it back.
I
mean, I'll be quite honest. When I'm working with a new guy, if they start talking shit back to me, I'm like, I like this guy.
This is going to work.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, all right, now we can have some like witty banter at work and he understands that I'm just fucking with him. Like, cool. Yeah. This is great.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's all in the eye of the beholder, though. I mean, what'd you say her name was? Shanna,
yeah.
Shanna or Allison Kay could have just taken it the wrong way.
Yeah.
But again, like it comes back to the spitting in the face. The spitting in the face is kind of where, like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Spitting in somebody's face is not hazing. If you spit in my face, I'm going to punch you.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if you were fucking around or not, you're going to get hit.
Right.
It's just plain disrespect. And obviously using the N-word isn't cool.
So the woman that is in question here, it says it's a wrestler from Puerto Rico named Black Rose. It says she gave a little more detail on the matter via Twitter, however, writing that the incident happened in 2017. Now, this is a little bit, I think there's a little language barrier here just by the way she typed it out. If Tessa Blanchard do not remember it, can I? I am not a mean girl with any coworkers around the world. Being kind of racist is not ridiculous. It's a sickness. So, again, there's no real hard evidence that this happened. There's nothing on camera or, you know, anything like that. I don't think necessarily that it's false. I think it's possible. But again, you know, she crossed the line, and if she did say something like that, I mean, come out and own it. But that hasn't happened yet, and you know, we'll have to wait and see what the aftermath here is of all that. You know, another racist incident, and I hope it's not true for her sake, because of who she is, because of who her father is. That name in the industry is huge, and
yeah, that last name alone.
Yeah. So moving on. What do you want to start with? Raw, NXT, SmackDown, AEW?
We can start with Raw. We can start with the number one entrant in the Royal Rumble.
The reigning, defending, undisputed Universal World Heavy... Doesn't he say Universal World Heavyweight Champion?
At this point, I don't know.
Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Started things off on Raw by declaring his entry into the Royal Rumble as not just any entry, the number one entrant in the Battle Royal fucking Rumble.
Okay, so I do have a problem with that particular promo. And I don't normally have a problem with one of Heyman's promos, but he made it sound like this has never happened before. This is history making. No, it's not. Shawn started at 1 and won it. Ray started at 2 and won it. There's Roman Reigns was the champion and had to go through everybody in order to defend his title. So having the champion in the Royal Rumble, also not a first. Mm-hmm. So I really don't know what the fuck he was talking about, unless he meant that this would be Brock Lesnar's first ever Royal Rumble win, which I don't think it is.
Would it be the first time? I know you mentioned Shawn. I don't recall that the champion entered the Rumble at number one purposely.
Maybe not. Okay, so now we're just now we're just splitting hairs
semantics,
here,
yes.
Because technically Roman was the champ and started number one, but not because he wanted to, because the Authority made him.
Okay,
like that was the storyline going forward. So, I mean, yeah, if we're stretching it that far, then yeah, this will be the first time. No, okay, so the first ever time that the Royal Rumble was for the championship was 92, and Ric Flair won that. Mm-hmm. That was after somebody had to forfeit the belt. I want to say it was Hogan. Could be wrong. I mean, we're going back a lot of years now.
Yeah.
But since then, you've had Roman. You've had Shawn Michaels start at number 1 and win it. Also, Crispin started at number 1 and won it. Ray started at number 2 and won it. Also held the longest time up until Daniel Bryan overtook it with the greatest Royal Rumble. But I personally don't feel like that counts because there was 50 more people. So of course you're going to last a little bit longer because the Rumble itself is a little bit longer in general.
I agree.
But whatever, they counted as stats. What would really get heat, and I mean just raw, pure, old school heat, is if Brock won it and goes, all right, well, now that I won the Royal Rumble, I'm going to choose not to defend my title at WrestleMania. Bye, guys. You get booed out of the fucking building.
Fuck yeah.
It would be phenomenal.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are being graced by, in all of his glory, Smick Griddle.
Oh.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Say that again?
Konnichiwa, bitches.
It's like the only thing he knows in Japanese.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Fuck you.
So
I've been listening on my way here. I've been kind of chiming in on the Facebook feed.
I see that. Yep.
So what do you feel about Brock Lesnar being the number 1 entrant?
I kind of commented on Twitter about this. It was on our Twitter. Pretty much this is almost pretty much outside of. I didn't mention the authority angle. Like it's Roman Reigns circa 2016 without the title on the line.
So the only thing that I had said, because Z was making mention that this is not a first, I stretched it a little bit. The first champion to go in as number 1, keyword voluntarily.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Like he's splitting hairs.
But
now,
if you have to do that, don't do it at all. Because then you get this conversation happening, and this conversation doesn't need to happen. It shouldn't have to.
Even the minute it came out of Heyman's mouth, I'm like, wait a fucking second. Like the Rolodex in my brain's like, no, this time. Like
say, the first time the championship was ever on the line was in 1992 when Hogan vacated the title and Ric Flair won it.
Literally just talked about that.
And after that, like the whole Roman 2016 Rumble thing happened, and commentators like, this is unprecedented, this is unheard of. The champion going in at number 1. I'm like, are you fucking shitting me?
Yeah.
What's really going to piss me off is I hope they don't do the spot where, Lesnar goes under the ropes but through a table and he's just laying there for 45 fucking minutes and then he gets up and like, if you're going to have Brock start at number 1, have him in the match the entire time. Or just a thought, quickest Royal Rumble ever. Guy comes in, Lesnar throws him out. Like literally like you're playing the video game at this point.
Yep.
Like you just
on easy.
Right. You just throw people out left and right, and I have a feeling that's how it's going to start.
Yeah.
Because there's been rumors that maybe Goldberg will enter at number 2, but that, for me, that ship has sailed, so I hope they don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a feeling that it's going to be not necessarily jobber, but like number 2 is going to be No Way Jose, and he's going to go over the top.
Yeah.
And then like number 10 is going to be Drew McIntyre, and they're actually going to get physical. And then, then the ring will start filling up.
Yeah,
but
I could see that.
But the first couple guys that come in, Lesnar should just toss them out.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, I have like a hot take on this, that WWE's going to pull a WWE for the Royal Rumble. Because you got that shit thing in Saudi Arabia, Cain Velasquez comes in as a surprise entrant and possibly wins to get that match again at Mania.
Well, the genius part about this is you don't necessarily need the winner to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you could do whoever eliminates Brock Lesnar would be his opponent, and then the other person. But the rumor that I've read a couple articles this week about it, the rumor Brock goes on to win the Royal Rumble and then faces The Fiend at WrestleMania, title for title, and then Brock ends up with all 3. 2 and then the face title, whatever, the mask title. Which, again, would also get you a bunch of fucking heat, but come the fuck on now. Like, the Royal Rumble is meant to put over younger talent. That was always its purpose. And like from 2014 to now,
2012. We can say go back to 2012.
Well, ever since they screwed Punk and didn't give him the Royal Rumble win when he was red hot.
Yep, and Bryan as well.
Yeah, but Bryan ended up. Batista went over, and then Bryan ended up at WrestleMania. Anyway, but the Royal Rumble has always been a showcase for younger talent like Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart,
Austin when he was in his prime.
Yeah, Austin won it 3 times. Cena went through what I consider the old school process of
that are a returning guy because like in was it 2002 when Triple H won it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like it used to be all right, we're gonna give this guy a run with the mid card title. All right, he did really good. Now we're gonna have him win the There used to be like a formulaic, step by step, old school method. Like guy comes in as a tag team, he wins the tag team championships, turns on his fucking partner. Now he has a run with the IC belt. All right, he did pretty good. We're gonna have him win the Royal Rumble. We're gonna build him up, and then he's gonna become champion at WrestleMania. And then sometimes he's so good that you have the return match, which technically WrestleMania 13. If Shawn didn't get injured, you were going to have Bret versus Shawn 2. But this is also like right when Raw was getting popular. This was also this was right before the In Your Houses that happened every month. So you only had like 5 pay-per-views a year, and one of them wasn't one of the big 4. It was just some random like WWF Super Showdown, blah, blah, blah.
Or In Your House, Cold Day in Hell.
Well, no, this is before. Like 97 is when they started the In Your House.
Like
which
Tuesday night in Texas or something.
Yeah, shit like that. Like our Saturday night main event and stuff like that. So, I mean, I just don't...
I feel like I'm missing out on the caffeine here.
I just don't feel... Having Lesnar start at number 1 and going on to win it, which then means he's probably going to take the elimination record because I mean,
Kane.
Well, no.
Reigns got the single.
No, it's Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman holds a record for single elimination. Or
are you counting the greatest Royal Rumble?
No, I think they do, but they said Braun Strowman has the most eliminations in a single Royal Rumble match.
That'd be great for Royal Rumble because like
whatever. I mean, they took Bryan's time and trumped Mysterio's time. But again, to me personally, that doesn't fucking count. Sure. Because it's more people, longer. Now, if every Royal Rumble you do from now on has 50 fucking people, sure. But you did that to impress Saudi Arabia. You didn't do that. Right. Like the winner didn't get a championship match.
They got a fucking trophy.
Braun Strowman got a trophy you saw one fucking time.
Yeah. And they've never made mention of it again, other than Titus Young falling into the ring.
Didn't he get a belt for that? Was it?
Yeah, he did. He got that ugly ass green tropical belt.
Yeah, the one that it looked like the 24/7 title before.
It looked like the cruiserweight title.
Yeah. Oh. But you only saw it once. Like he raised it in the air, and then that was it. Like that was the end of it.
Big glass trophy, ugly ass green, like lime green belt.
Lame.
No mention afterwards.
Yeah, I hope, Smitty, what you said by they do, they pull a WWE and then all of a sudden, Cain Velasquez or they have somebody off the wall kind of win this Royal Rumble. I would rather see Brock win it than have something like that.
Honestly, I think we all have the same mindset where we all think the person that deserves it probably the most is McIntyre, especially with the slow face turner kind of giving him here.
Well, not only that, but it's weird because I was thinking that after watching Raw, like maybe Drew will win it because they have him in like all these squash matches that are kind of meaningless right now, and it's like okay,
it's a slow face turn too because
they're making him more and more likable.
Well, either way, it's perfect because you're like, oh, like you don't you don't think Drew's gonna win it because he's not wrestling anybody
worth mentioning.
Well, Yeah, like anyone of a importance. Like he's squashing guys he should squash. You know what I mean? Like he's not
squashing both Ryder and Hawkins at the same time. He's squashing No Way Jose.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much been the last 4 weeks now.
Yeah. To the point where they showed the Claymore kick on No Way Jose on WWE's Instagram and tagged Drew McIntyre, but did not tag No Way Jose. And No Way Jose commented on it and was like, "Oh, what's up, WWE? Can't even tag your boy in this."
Yeah.
Like,
you want to see me Claymore kick him again?
but it would be good. It would be like they're slow. They're giving him the slow build, which they should do in general for everybody. But they're giving him the slow build, so throwing him in the Royal Rumble, have him come out at number 23, number 27,
Lucky number 23.
Exactly. Or, I mean, have him come in at like 17. Whatever the case may be.
Mid-Rumble.
Like, I mean, obviously you're going to have your Braun Strowman in there. You're going to have...
No, I think Braun goes for the IC at the Rumble.
Doesn't mean he won't be in the Royal Rumble. You can have a match and still be in the Royal Rumble. That's been proven.
They're going to do it, too, with Roman and Baron.
Yeah, because Roman's already in, and so is Corbin. But that's perfect because that's more of a reason. Like, well, Roman Reigns isn't going to win it. He already wrestled tonight. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, like, storyline wise, like, even though Roman's supposed to be the big dog, Roman's tired. Big dog is tired. He's gonna go nap.
He's a tired little dog.
He's a tired little pup.
Dog food.
But you like Drew makes sense because it would kind of be out of nowhere, and then you could still build him up to Mania against Lesnar. Like let's say, just throwing booking options out there. Drew comes in, eliminates Lesnar, right? And then let's say Drew doesn't even go on to win it. But now Lesnar has a bone to pick with Drew because he eliminated him. Mm-hmm. So now that's your WrestleMania matchup. And you keep Drew away from Brock because obviously you're not going to...
Brock won't be there.
Yeah, well, that not only that, but now you have Drew face, like, like let's say right now Drew's squashing, like, lower mid-card guys.
Lashley's and...
Not Lashley, but Lashley's with Rusev. And then you go up to your mid-card guys, and then so by the time WrestleMania comes around, it's like, all right, Drew's ready for the main event. Not saying that he's not already ready.
Okay. What mid-card heels do you have, really, outside of Andrade, Lashley?
It's a squash match. Why do they got to be a heel? They're not even going to have time to fucking get heat. They're just going to take a Claymore kick and the match is going to be over. So does it really matter if you're a heel or a face at that point?
Not if you're trying to build him as a babyface.
Who said they're trying to build him as a babyface? He's organically getting the crowd behind him, but may not necessarily be their plan.
Why did last week did you give him a mic and say, why did you give him a mic and let him give him that second Claymore kick just to get the fans what they wanted?
Whatever. And then he goes, and then fucking genius. And I didn't even drop the mic.
Yeah.
that was good.
Really
I like that a lot.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, if they're slowly turning him babyface, and if you're going to build him as the babyface versus Lesnar, he's not going to keep squashing any and everybody.
You never know, Smitty. They could be giving him this nice little baby run just so when he actually comes out as a full-blown heel, he gets real fucking heat.
Yeah. They make you think that.
Yeah, they're like they're like in that gray area where they're teetering both ways, where he still does some heelish shit, but the crowd's kind of behind him. So now when he turns on the fucking crowd, now they're going to boo him out of the building because he connected with these fans and then he turned his back on them.
You're overthinking this way too much. This is WWE.
Smart booking, though.
Well, and a few weeks ago, I had mentioned when we were talking about who we wanted to see kind of break out in 2020, I had mentioned this, Drew McIntyre winning the Rumble, going on to WrestleMania to face Brock, rematch at SummerSlam. It was lazy booking, but, I can foresee that happening.
And to be fair, I mean, I thought Drew McIntyre was going to be the breakout star of 2008, but, here we are.
And here we are. So more on Raw because that is a huge can of worms with this whole Brock Lesnar going into the Royal Rumble thing. Andrade beat Rey Mysterio again.
A shaky ass finish.
Yeah, there was definitely some somewhat not understanding somebody there because, like, he went to get back in the ring, but then he told
Selena. I hear Selena.
Then he told Andrade to do something, and then turned around and like was like, "Oh my god!" Like, it was really, really weird. Like, there was some miscommunication somewhere.
And both of y'all niggas speak Spanish.
Yeah, he going out to check on Zelina if you missed it, and then, that match was over right then and there, and then he got up and left for a minute, and then came back and took. I'm sorry, I don't remember Andrade's finishing.
Hammerlock DDT.
But even the Hammerlock DDT looked
sloppy.
weird. It was like he forced him into it.
Yeah, very, very weird. But okay, so that's going to keep that feud going. I mean, it's got to keep going.
Well, and you're going to get a fantastic match out of those two, probably at Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Then we had Raw Tag Team Champions, the Viking Raiders against the OC, against the Street Profits. The Raiders ended up winning that match.
That was a good match.
It was a good match, but I feel like they could have drugged that whole thing out, having these three teams exchange wins with each other.
But this is, no.
But also you put your tag team division right back in Raw where it is right now. To the point, like, okay, they've beaten everybody now. Where do you go with the Vikings from here?
They haven't beaten the AOP.
They're keeping AOP away from them for a reason.
Right. But now might be the time that they're no longer away from them. Like, Seth's little stable needs some gold.
Yeah.
They keep them away from them for a reason. And that's what I said. They should have drug out this whole OC Street Profits Viking Raiders thing.
I agree. I mean, I honestly think that match should have been a pay-per-view match, and then it would have gotten a little more time, and it would have been a little bit better of a match.
Yeah.
But, hindsight 2020, we don't know what they're doing. For all we know, next week, the AOP and Seth Rollins could come attack the fucking Viking Raiders, and boom.
Nah, there's a fist fight. There's a fist fight match. I believe they called it.
Yeah. So, not to jump forward, but what the fuck is a fist fight match in wrestling? Okay, hey guys, we don't want you to think wrestling is fake, but we're gonna have an actual fist fight next week because that's
brawl for all.
Right, like
tough man contest.
Like, well, technically we're not allowed to hit each other in the face with a closed fist, but now we are. Like, come on.
So
do we even know the rules of this contest? Or
brawl for all. All I can think of when I hear
special guest referee Bart Gunn.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And Butterbean, special enforcer.
So this came about the whole night, and WWE has done one thing right in this regard, is they've been carrying on a story for the entire show, typically every week.
I like that. I may not like the story, but I like what
the format.
I like that they're beginning, middle, but they've been doing it with both Lana and Lashley.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you may not like the storyline, I do like the consistency that they're giving it. But they've also been doing it with Kevin Owens and the AOP. So they've done a really good job of that.
Yeah, they're not doing it.
The surprise was underwhelming.
They're not doing it one time where they have one story this week and then one story. They keep doing it, every other week. So now you've got Kevin Owens teaming up with Samoa Joe, trying to take on the AOP and Seth Rollins, and then there was the story of a mystery guest, a mystery partner for the rest of the night.
Very underwhelming.
Who's it going to be? And
I'll give them this though. You say it was underwhelming, and I mean I wasn't like, oh my god, the Big Show's back.
No.
But I was like, oh cool, the Big Show. Like, okay, like let's see where they go with this. Like,
and that's what I mean about underwhelming. Is like,
well, and he's been gone for 2 years. I didn't know it had been that long.
Yeah, you ever seen him since Lesnar put him through Strowman put him through that cell?
Yeah, he looks great though.
Yeah, he looked really good.
You wait till you were damn near 50 to get a 12-pack.
So he ended up in this match with Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe, like I said, against AOP and Seth Rollins. And this is leading to a fist fight match next week. Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and Big Show ended up getting the win in this match. The match itself was underwhelming. So yeah, we're gonna get a fist fight match. And what also I didn't like about that decision is that there wasn't even any time. Like all of a sudden, you see Seth and the AOP walking back at the top of the ramp. Oh, and next week we're gonna have a fist fight match, according to fucking who? Like,
there's no authority figure. There's not even an ounce of it. There's no impact management. There's no manager ego. There's just, so this is happening next week.
Well, and Big Show was even interviewed, I want to say it was after Raw went off the air, like in a backstage type deal. I'm not sure who did the interview with him, but he even like kind of laughed at it and then caught himself. Like the idea of it is just kind of like Z said, what the fuck is a fist fight match in wrestling? It'll be interesting to see what they do with that tomorrow. I mean, is this going to be like Rick Martel versus Shawn Michaels, where they weren't allowed to hit each other in the face, but that now they are, like in this match,
the pretty boy versus the model.
Yeah, it was
way to pull that one out of your back pocket.
They was almost that sexy boy.
They weren't allowed to hit each other.
You guys remember growing up that like they would like if some guy, like for example, like if Austin did the Luthez press and started beating a guy, the ref would come up and be like, it's got to be an open hand or whatever. It can't be a closed fist, but we've gotten away from that. Like we've gotten to the point where, we all know it's predetermined, but it's not necessarily fake. Like some guys actually take the lumps, just it's called protecting the business.
Mm-hmm.
So
New Japan's a big.
I feel like this exposes it. Like, oh, we're gonna have a fist fight now. Like, is this like a last man standing? But you can only use your fist. You can't use your feet. Like. Have we discovered what the rules are?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm having a hard time with it, and it's not going to go over well. I can't imagine it being anything more than like a really stupid gimmick that lasts all of 30 seconds, and then it just turns into a shit show.
As in the words of our friend Joe, tickle butt.
Tickle butt.
Tickle butt.
Tickle butt.
Booty tickle.
So you also had, there were a couple other matches, Aleister Black and Shelton Benjamin. This match was an okay match.
Aleister Black and Shelton Benjamin?
Yep.
So, hold on.
Was this
no more Buddy Murphy versus Aleister Black?
Oh, no, it led to what's happening next week.
Yeah,
yep. Buddy Murphy did show up.
After Aleister gets the win. That's fucking that knee chair shit.
I thought when Aleister went up 2-0 on Buddy Murphy, that would be the end of the feud. But like this is one of those things where they have really good opponents that know each other really well, and instead of stretching this out and giving you matches down the road to where like quality matches, hey, we're just gonna burn them out on you right now. Like we're gonna make you hate them because we're gonna make them wrestle each other every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because you have nothing really else on that mid card that people care about.
But this is the problem. You focus all... Okay, so what you've done over... even after the first Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy match...
At TLC.
You created two potential stars in that match. It didn't matter who won or lost. That was a very competitive match. All right, so out of that match, you have two different mid-card stars. Now, you can start building them in opposite directions and have it come back to them for, Buddy Murphy versus Aleister Black 2 instead of doing it on Raw each fucking week. And
I agree with you 100%.
Credit to those guys. Each one of those matches has been really fucking good.
They've been highlights of the highlight of Raw and the highlight of TLC.
But it's almost like creators like, oh, this was really good last week, so we're gonna do it again this week. But eventually, you're gonna run out of ways.
There's no story building to it.
To an extent, there is. I mean, I don't necessarily.
No, the first story building they did was literally this week on Raw.
But
where Buddy Murphy was just upset about taking those 2 L's and just knee fucking Black's face to it back in the chair.
You're gonna eventually run out of ways to keep it fresh and interesting. Like you're gonna run out of ways to have end the match.
Yeah.
Like as far as I'm concerned, if Buddy Murphy loses again, that's 3 times in a row that he went up against Aleister Black and lost. The feud should be over. There should be no more.
Well, the feud should have been over after that second.
I couldn't agree with you more, but they are continuing to go with it. And I was like, okay, 2 things can happen. Either Aleister Black puts him down for good, or somebody else interrupts this match, causing them to go their separate ways. Either way, I'm cool with it. But if they have Buddy Murphy go over and then have them go over again. You know what I mean? Like, and then we're going back and forth. This is like the Sheamus and Cesaro thing without calling it a best of 7 match.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But let's be honest, that actually led to something great with the bar.
This won't.
Yeah, but even when we talked about it, even after those 7 matches, we were like, this is dumb. And
the match
brought them together as a tag team, and they ended up being a good tag team, which I don't think anyone here thought they would be a bad tag team. They're both really good competitors.
Mm-hmm.
But I was sick of them. Like, I didn't want to see them wrestle each other. I still to this day do not want to see Cesaro versus Sheamus because of that best of 7 series.
Yeah,
like, I've already seen it.
Yeah.
We may see it again because guess who just came back on SmackDown?
Yeah, but Cesaro's on Raw.
No, Cesaro's on SmackDown.
Oh.
He's with Sami Zayn and Nakamura.
Moving on, we saw fucking Bobby Lashley and Lana get married finally. What was really funny about this is that the Priest ran down to the ring after the AJ Styles match. AJ Styles, who beat Akira Tozawa.
Poor Tozawa, man. He's just too good to be doing what he does right now.
Well, immediately after this match, the Priest comes down to the ring, and the camera cuts to the ring as the Priest is getting tackled by security, and the camera pans away, and he didn't know that this was going to happen, but all of a sudden it's like, oh, dude, some dude's in the ring, his ass kicked, and then Twitter blows up.
Even WWE doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and Twitter blows up, and their security attacked the Priest. There were a couple fans that posted videos.
They attacked the vicar.
Right from the front row, and the Priest was all scared to death because he thought his life was going to end. And
he wasn't a priest; he was an officiant. Get it right.
Sure,
he's a vicar.
He didn't have.
He was ordained.
He didn't have the white collar.
Or a little boy attached to his crotch.
Okay, shut up. But yeah, you're right.
So this is going to lead to Lana versus Rusev. Rusev and Lashley next week, and Liv Morgan's going to be in Rusev's corner. She said something. Liv showed up in the back and
during an R-Truth promo.
Yeah,
I love the fact that R-Truth was just in the back going,
yeah.
She tried to get some catchphrase over with
type
Liv,
of moment I live for,
and I was like, that's fucking dumb. Like, I'm just so tired of these little puns with their names.
It's good shit.
It's bad shit, man. I just, I'm disappointed with what they're doing with her character coming back so far. I mean, it's like you said earlier about, Big Show. This to me is underwhelming. I think they could have did a lot more. Somebody had posted something about
She
Liv.
just kept her a lesbian.
Well, her coming back and being with, like along the same lines as the Fiend, and it was like, let me live instead of let me in, and her being that creepy, that'd have been fucking great. I'm sorry, that's just me.
I would have been all right if it was just lesbians.
Of course you would.
I like
Can never have enough lesbian lines, huh?
I love lesbians.
So Raw overall was okay. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the best. But yeah, I'm interested.
I mean, it was quite entertaining, and we spent a decent chunk of the show talking about it, so it's not like it was terrible.
No, not at all. Better than it has been in recent weeks.
For sure.
Oh, unless they're going to show up next week.
SmackDown kicked things off with the return of John Morrison. Z, how do you feel about John Morrison coming back into the picture after 8 years of being absent from WWE?
I kind of like how they did this. Like, they right now, in the grand scheme of things, going for like a singles title, there is nothing for the Miz to do. So we have the Miz turn heel, go nuts, and we have Morrison show up in his locker room, and now they bring him out for a segment on Miz TV, and he starts off babyface as fuck, and at the snap of a finger, turns heel, and it's great.
I'm disappointed in all of you.
My biggest thing is it's been 8 years. Well, okay. It's probably
from
been
WWE.
8 years from WWE, probably about 10 years since you've tagged with The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of want to see how they work as a team now. Because I know how they did back then, and they were a good tag team. I thoroughly enjoyed their stuff back then.
Be jealous.
I do like the potential rivalry of them. I know right now they're with the New Day and they're probably going to get thrown right into the title picture, but I would love to see the Edgeheads versus Morrison and The Miz.
Now that's two separate shows.
Well, I know, but they were The Miz has been posting things on Instagram back when they did have a feud. Yeah, and they dressed up like each other and shit like that. So I was like, all right, so I mean that at least gives Ryder and Hawkins some TV time. Mm-hmm. These four are really
TV
good
time.
friends. They've all been to each other's weddings and shit like that. So like that could be fun. That could actually get over real good.
Sure.
Because you're throwing the real life aspect in there. I'm happy with what they're doing. I'm happy they didn't bring him out as a baby face and try and change his name or anything. Like he's John Morrison, him and The Miz. I have a feeling it'd be really cool. They build this and then have them win the titles. And then at some point, they turn on each other, and you got a singles match between John Morrison and The Miz at SummerSlam or Survivor Series or Royal Rumble next year.
Yeah, which would be a good match. And I like the fact
their match when Miz was WWE champion were actually good.
I liked what they did with Morrison. They in the fact that they brought him back and had a video package, telling you who he was, because it had been so long since anybody's seen him on WWE TV, to get these newer fans more familiar with him, because myself at that time when he was in his heyday with The Miz and getting these title runs, I wasn't watching. I know who he is. I've seen matches with him. I was watching when he first came into WWE. I know
Johnny
who he
Nitro.
is.
Oh, and he's got some Royal Rumble moments under his belt as far as the parkour shit that he does.
Yeah. And
I think that's when they got Kofi's bit about staving off elimination, because he did it first.
Well, and Morrison did a really cool move from the outside.
To the barricade, ran on the barricade and ran.
Parkour and hit Big E.
Well, and he flipped off of the stairs and hit Big E, and so I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm glad to see that he's back, and he seems a little more mature. Like he's not going to be this super flashy, flamboyant John Morrison. He seems a little more.
He will. He never really was. He was flamboyant in the ring because his parkour training helped him do like flashy stuff in the ring. But as far as personality goes, he's never been like over the top, like flamboyantly flashy.
Yeah.
No, I think the most like flashy move he had was when he did like the windmill fucking leg drop from like literally like a breakdance move. No, it would be like a breakdance move where he would do like the leg windmill that breakdancers do and hit you with a leg drop.
Well, either way, I'm excited to see him back in the ring. It should be good.
I'm very excited too. Once again,
Nick, if you would have watched Impact, you wouldn't have to worry about it.
I wouldn't even go that far. I was. Actually, there is that episode. Also, I watched him AAA over the last 8 years, and he was
Johnny Mundo.
Johnny Mundo.
Was he in Ring of Honor at all?
He had one or two matches there, but
he was on a lot of independents where he would just change his name to Johnny and whatever the name of the promotion was.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It was most of the time either Johnny Mundo or Johnny Impact.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that's what it was playing off of. But it was like when he was under contract with Impact. So when he would go to different promotions under his Impact contract, he would be Johnny. Well, like he was Johnny Nitro at one point. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like he just keeps changing it.
Kofi Kingston ended up in a match with The Miz. We were just kind of talking about that when Morrison hit Big E with that move off the stairs. Alexa Bliss and Mandy Rose. I like what they're doing with Otis and Mandy Rose. Mandy tried to give him a cake, and
he's just eating at the ramp,
and he was getting it, man. He was smashing that cake,
and Tucker's just like takes a finger and like licks the frosting. This motherfucker.
And Mandy was digging it too. I thought that was really funny.
It's the best thing on SmackDown, honestly.
Yeah. So the rumor has it that like going forward, Otis is gonna get a bunch of like secret admirer things, and he's not gonna be able to figure it out. So then on the Valentine's Day episode of SmackDown, it's gonna be revealed that it's actually Mandy Rose and blah blah blah.
Perfect.
But I really like where this storyline is going. This is I don't like that they're trying to like couple up everybody all at once, like Lashley and Lana and potentially Rusev and Liv Morgan. That seems to be the way it's going. And then over on SmackDown, you have the same thing with Mandy Rose and Otis, but slightly different and
better.
Actually entertaining.
Yes, very much so.
Hey, Mandy.
Yeah, no, it's great. And it reminds me of when Sonny used to fuck with the Godwins, and Phineas Godwin would be drooling over, and Henry would have to like get him back, snap him back into place. But this is also when the Godwins were going against the Body Donnas for the titles, and
God damn it, the Body Donnas.
That was like a year and a half.
Yeah,
but also back when. A little bit before Raw, and you only had 4 pay-per-views.
They stretched these storylines.
Well,
out.
yeah. I mean, WrestleMania to WrestleMania was your cutoff because you didn't have a weekly show
build.
or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you would build at like the Royal Rumble. For Andre versus Hogan, you'd have them both, disqualify each other and set up for WrestleMania and shit like that.
Exactly. Lacey Evans versus Sasha Banks. No shot. Or not.
Why don't you go home and put on your mom jeans? That was a pretty good line from Bailey. I like that.
Yeah, I thought that whole segment was pretty good. I
put some mom jeans on Bailey eventually.
I don't mind what the fuck, Lacey Evans turning face.
No, I think she's better as a face than a heel.
Yeah.
She was kind of an annoying heel.
Yeah.
But as a face, like she has all the right tools to be a face. She was a former Marine. She is a mom. Like these are real life things you can build on.
Her character's just too dated for me. I think that's my whole problem with Lacey.
Her what?
Her character is very dated.
Yeah, but right now they're like she's evolving into she's sticking true to the main principles of her character, but she's evolving. She went from
more nasties.
She went from being this Southern belle to now I'm a U.S. Marine. Like now she's like girl next door, but I was a Marine. I'm a mom. Like you're getting a little foreshadowing into her life, and it's connecting her with the fans, and it's doing a really good job.
It's her being her.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the female audience will just eat that up if they can connect to a superstar like that. A lot of them can't connect to fucking Alexa Bliss
or Dana
Mandy,
Brooke, who's had more plastic surgery than Pamela Anderson.
But this is somebody that
she's fucking Batista. You're going to see a lot more of her.
Well, the female audience can connect to, and that's something that I feel like WWE was missing and has been missing for a long time. Is like there's dudes like that you can kind of that you might have
for sure.
Right.
Well, that's why Austin was so popular. Everyone that watched wrestling could see a little bit of themselves.
That blue collar guy
in Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I think that's another reason that like guys like Heavy Machinery are over, because those are blue collar guys.
I mean, that's why Becky got over, because a lot of even men can relate to Becky. Like,
right.
Like I can relate to you. Whereas now you can relate to Lacey Evans, and it's also one of those things where you give her a nice little push as a baby and you get her to connect with the fans. So now the next time she turns heel, she's going to get real fucking heat.
Real bad, yeah. So this is leading to, I'm sure we'll see Bailey and Lacey Evans next week possibly, and maybe Sasha interfere, and a feud between the three of them overall. I like it.
Well, eventually you're going to have
Lacey Bailey.
Well, eventually you're going to have Sasha turn on Bailey for that title. I mean, that's
Oh, yeah.
eventually what's going to happen.
Because that's the only thing that makes sense in that women's division over there, really?
Yeah, but so they're doing a women's Royal Rumble as well. So
Shayna Baszler wins.
I mean, that's the rumor that she comes in at number 30 and she wins.
I think 30.
No, she's going to be the surprise number 30. They're just rumors from what I've read. But, I mean, you could also go the way of Sasha wins, and that sets up her and Bailey without technically having to turn Sasha face or heel. You could just have those two go at it and let the crowd choose who's going to be what.
I do like the idea of Shayna coming in at number 30, but
I think
I could also see her at number 1.
But you already so problem with that is you already have Brock coming in at number 1 and potentially winning the men's Royal Rumble. So you can't do
both,
two of the exact same Royal Rumbles back to back. So
I would say Shayna at 15 and win, and because they already set up something between her and Becky at Survivor Series.
Yeah, but think about it though. It gets to number 29 and you still haven't seen Baszler. Now you're watching going, well, she better be fucking 30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the build and the anticipation would be better. If she comes out at 15 or 17, you're like, all right, cool. But now there's a greater chance that she'll get eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
But that also gives her a huge pop when she wins.
And are we pulling from NXT for this too? Like, do they have enough main roster women right now to fill a 30 woman?
Hell no.
So we're gonna have to pull from NXT.
Both Rumbles gonna pull from NXT.
NXT UK, yeah.
Both Rumbles gonna pull from NXT and NXT UK.
Yeah,
especially Worlds Collide being the day before.
I believe the men's will because they always have at least one or two. But I don't think they have to. I think they have enough talent on both rosters to fill a Royal Rumble without touching NXT.
Yeah, but
they might not because they're trying to keep NXT separate. Yeah, I mean, like Survivor Series was the last time you'll see all three brands, interacting with each other. So
you knew that was a lie with the Rumble being the next big one.
Right, but maybe they'll keep NXT off of it. Maybe you won't see a single NXT star because they want to keep that brand separate.
I will bet you $100 you will see at least one or two NXT stars in the Royal Rumble this year.
I'm with you on that because they always do it. I'm just saying that potentially they could have none and still fill the ring with participants.
Sure.
Especially
and one of them will be Keith Lee.
If you're just going to have Lesnar walk through everybody, why waste your fucking NXT talent on that? Mm-hmm. Like, why not throw out guys like No Way Jose and Kurt Hawking? You know what I mean? Like, guys that are
a Jobber Rumble.
To an extent, especially if you're just going to have Lesnar, run through everybody. Why make your other talent you're trying to build look bad? I mean, who gives a fuck about No Way Jose right now?
Right.
I did when he was in NXT. I don't anymore. He's gone. Kurt Hawkins, Zack Ryder,
EC3.
Have we even seen him on TV?
9.
Maybe run by the camera in the chaos.
Oh no, the 24/7 scrambles.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, no, So and all those guys, from the 24/7. Now take the guys from 205 Live. Now throw them out of the ring because all you've been doing is feeding them to fucking Drew McIntyre,
right?
Or Andrade, or Randy Orton, or AJ Styles.
You see my point. These are all indisposable guys that can be in the Rumble and be disposed of without hurting their character.
And that's because nobody watches 205 Live anymore. Because Isaiah Swerve Scott and Leo Rush had a phenomenal match on 205 yesterday.
I did not see that.
I did not see that either.
Only a nobody.
I also
hello everyone. I'm nobody.
Yesterday, it's on Saturdays now.
It's like on Friday or Saturdays.
Oh, so it's like the old school Saturday morning superstars then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only on the net. It's one of the only thing that's still like exclusively on the network too.
Well, and UK.
Yeah. Because I know UK's Thursday and I think 205 is Fridays.
You know what pisses me off?
Oh no, it's still on Wednesdays. I believe. I mean, Fridays is on Friday.
If I almost have to watch NXT Live and rewatch AEW every week because I have Hulu Live and I record both shows. And NXT, if I don't watch it by 7 a.m. the following day, it gets cut to an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas AEW is the whole thing, like start to finish, 2 hours, whatever. It's on there. So it's like, all right, cool. I can watch that at a later date and time and see the whole show. It was really good. It's even better when it's cut down to an hour. I'm not going to lie. But if I want to wait 2 weeks, I can go on the network and watch the full thing.
I wonder why they do that.
It's got to be their contract.
It's contract with WWE.
Yeah, the contract they have with Hulu because it's all their stuff. Like Raw,
an hour and a half.
Yeah. If now Raw, like I get an extra day. Like if I don't watch it by Tuesday morning, then it's cut down to an hour and a half. If it's anywhere between like 11 o'clock Monday till 7 o'clock or 7 o'clock Wednesday morning, I can watch the whole thing that I recorded, or most of it.
And then Raw's like cuts like an hour 45.
No, it's an hour and a half. It's an hour. Everything's an hour and a half, which is weird.
Because when I watched the day after, it's like Raw's like an hour 45. It was like an hour and a half.
It was an hour 45, but the last 15 minutes of it was the show after Raw. That's what happened to me. I was like, oh, they got more of it, and that wasn't the case. It was it ran over into the start of like Modern Family. Yeah. But it's an hour and a half for Raw, which cuts it completely in half. And then it's an hour and a half for SmackDown, which literally just takes the commercials out of it, and maybe one segment.
Okay.
Which is dumb. Like, if you're going to cut Raw in half, cut SmackDown in half. Or give me 2 hours of both and just cut out the fucking commercials and knock out get Dana Brooks' segment out of here. I mean.
Yeah. Get rid of Eric Roman's bullshit cage thing.
Apparently that's really big. And apparently
Really?
Vince wants to put him in the main event picture going forward in 2020 because he's done a great job with Daniel Bryan and a great job with this cage thing.
I'll give you the Daniel Bryan thing, but this cage thing, it to me took a step down.
Right, but that wasn't
Booty
him.
tickle.
That was creative. And creative gave him this, and he's doing it.
You make a chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Although you may not like what he is doing, this is what they gave him, and he's doing his best with it.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, okay,
Make a chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Yeah, here's this big plate of fucking broccoli, and even though you don't like it, you ate it all. Well, you did a good job eating,
Right, you now, and it sounds like Vince is going to give him his dessert.
Yeah.
Just like Lana Rusev and Lashley. This wasn't their choice, but this is what they were given. And if I want to be on TV, if I want that paycheck, and they're doing the best they can with it, I mean, no one really likes it. I mean, it's one of those things that's so bad you can't help but watch.
Exactly.
It's like a car wreck.
But again, you got to give it up to the talent because although they were given this shitty situation, they are making the most out of it. And I mean, shit, they've been the main focus of Raw every other week, so they're doing something right.
Yeah. Anyway, with
green screen.
more with SmackDown, so we can move into NXT here in a minute. You had Braun Strowman over Shinsuke Nakamura, continuing that feud. Are they going to give the IC title to Braun?
Yes.
I hope not.
Yes. And honestly, let him run roughshod for the next year with it.
I don't want to see Braun Strowman hold it, but like he just said, if they do, they should have him hold it for a while.
Yeah.
And the reason being is the longer a champion holds a belt, the more special it is when they lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, you've already big showed Braun Strowman so much over the last 2 years. Give him something.
The fucking SmackDown in Detroit, they had this motherfucker dancing. He shouldn't be dancing at all. He should be throwing people through the fucking mat. He shouldn't be fucking dancing.
I get these hips.
So the funny thing is, I was watching, I was like, what in the fucking mayonnaise and ranch dressing am I watching right now?
Yeah, it was a little funny just because it's Braun Strowman.
Yes. It was entertaining, but he's not supposed to be entertaining. He's supposed to be the monster among men, not the dancing fucking This isn't Monsters, Inc.
Right.
This is fucking...
The cookie monster among men.
Right. So if you're going to build him like a monster, not some singing, dancing fool that's huge.
Well, and I think they still could if they play their cards right with Shinsuke Cesaro and Sami Zayn, and they just kind of, pick him apart here and there, and end up he can Hulk out, I guess you could say, and like get real pissed off, and just all of a sudden turn this corner where he just fucking smashes Shinsuke Nakamura.
Well, Shinsuke is going to retain at Rumble by disqualification because eventually they're going to run out of options and just hit the motherfucker with the chair.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, will lead to Shinsuke versus Braun Strowman. Everybody's barred from ringside. Okay.
Or in a steel cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, or something along those lines. But my next question is, how bad is that match going to be if you take Sami Zayn and Cesaro out of it and you just have Braun Strowman who, I mean, he's gotten better, but he's like Cena. He's got like the 5 moves of doom. I mean, granted, he's also been known to like do a drop kick off the top rope. So, I mean, his range is kind of all over the place. But then you have Shinsuke, who's, I retract my statement because that could potentially be really good. Because then you could just have Shinsuke go full blown strong style and kick
actually
the
lace some shit into him.
Yeah.
And it's not even gonna, mess with Strowman because he's so big.
Yeah.
So actually, that has potential.
He just taking those blows, and yeah, I could see that.
Taking those blowjobs.
Taking them. The last match for SmackDown, we had the Usos, who made their return last week on SmackDown against King Corbin and Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler.
I'm glad to see the Usos back. I hope they're in a good place.
The Usos are not back.
What do you mean?
They're not. I mean, the Usos we knew are not back. I don't know who the fuck these.
Okay, so we'll say
Clean
Jimmy
cut
and
sons of
Jay are
bitches.
back.
What's that?
These clean cut sons of bitches.
Well, I'm not sure if it's Jimmy or Jay, but the one that's got like he looks like
the Caesar haircut.
No, he looks like what the fuck is his name? He just came back with Tamatonga. Haku.
Haku.
He looks like Haku, but instead of having like the curly hair, it's all like brushed forward. And then
wait, Haku?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Tamatonga's dad.
Yeah,
really?
That's his uncle.
Uncle, yeah.
I mean, which explains why they look like, but he's got like without the long hair and the brush forward, he looks like Haku. And
but Haku's also a member of the Bullet Club.
And the other one looks like Ming. So yeah.
Well, okay, so Jimmy and Jay made their return.
Uso Penitentiary.
They're the Samoan dynasty.
Are they going to be
the family?
Is this going to be a permanent situation with them and Roman?
Rumor has it that the reason they came back to SmackDown instead of Raw is because if they get in trouble one more time, they're both fired. So they were sent to SmackDown so like Roman can keep an eye on them and make sure they stay out of trouble. Mm-hmm. But with the current storyline that Roman is in, I could see the Samoan dynasty or the family, whatever you want to call it.
They call themselves the Brotherhood, I think.
Which would be good. It'd be another storyline and another group to kind of keep Roman away from the title and keep building him as a babyface because they've done the one thing that they've never done with Roman. They've just let this shit happen organically instead of shoving him down your throat. You still see him every week, but he's not in your main event. I mean, some weeks he is because that's, as they're doing the whole start to finish story, that's where he ends up. But he hasn't been winning.
And he's not chasing titles.
Right. He's just there.
In a story.
And he's putting in quality matches. And him and Corbin are making each other look like $1 million in their respective roles. So, like, I like the spot that Roman's in right now.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like the story.
What was that?
So I agree with you, even though I do not like the story. Well, the corny, the tickle butt of the story with the dog food and bullshit.
Yeah, but see, that's the PG part of this. Like we've always complained that WWE is not consistent or it's not fluid going forward, and they're starting to be consistent. Again, you may not like the story. It may be a little too PG for your liking, but at least there's consistency to these stories. And I can actually be like, okay, this makes sense because they've been doing this, A, B, and C
for weeks.
And it actually, going forward, it's consistent. It's congruent. It makes sense.
Well, and now they're going to have Corbin and Roman Reigns not only at the Rumble one-on-one, but then they're both going to be in the Royal Rumble, so that can carry over in multiple ways. That whole pay-per-view, that could make another one of those situations where the storyline is extended through a whole show, and so it's not terrible, but I do like the fact that he's gonna. I like
his butt cheeks. It's not shitty butt cheeks. Though.
He's going to be with the Usos. I hope that they do make something out of that. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see.
If they do say, I will say this: if the Usos do end up getting fired, they're just going to House of Glory with their dad.
Well, if you
to join the real Samoan dynasty,
I almost guarantee the Usos would be in AEW. But
nope. I said they go to House of Glory with Rikishi, owned by Master P.
Right, but if they want to be on TV, they go to AEW.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
But either way, putting Roman with the Usos right now makes sense because it keeps both of them at the moment away from the titles without feeling like they need to be in the title picture. Because right now you got John Morrison and The Miz versus the New Day. Mm-hmm. Not that I don't like New Day versus Usos because it's always good.
Yeah.
But we've seen it so many times, and they've exchanged titles. That's why each of them have had the belt 7, 8, 10 times, whatever it may be.
Well, we need a break from that. Yeah.
6 times apiece.
No, this is the 7th time.
Oh, yeah, you're right, 7.
That they've held it, and I swear the Usos have more.
One more, maybe 8.
Either way, between the two of them, it's 15 tag championships, but that's been your whole division
for the better part of damn near half a decade.
More than almost a decade, I would say.
I said over half a decade.
With the exception of the bar. Like you throw the bar in there, and that's literally the past half decade, 5 years of your tag division. Minus a fluke B squad win or anything else.
Or the Revival.
But again, that's a fluke because the Revival haven't held the titles for more than 2-3 months?
If that, yeah.
There have been transitional champions every time they held those titles.
Yeah.
Well, everybody outside of the New Day, the Bar, or the Usos has been a transitional champion just to put the belt back on one of those 3 teams.
The Viking Raiders are starting to separate themselves from that, but
yeah, but they need to hold that belt for like a year.
Yeah, and they need to get some quality wins.
I said this is the most. Monday was the most quality win they've had since they took those titles.
Right. So moving on, because we're running out of time. NXT on Wednesday night. Rhea Ripley shows up in the ring, and then every other fucking woman in that division showed up in the ring.
Tony Storm's ass showed up.
I was too busy looking at Tony Storm's ass to realize who else was in the ring, Nick.
Bianca Belair, Kaylee Ray.
Yeah, man. It's just
I love the fact that Io Shirai just straight up said she started ranting in Japanese and goes, "Mine,"
and she pointed at Tony Storm's ass.
Yeah. And we were all like, "Oh,
mine too." I just actually, I wish
it's like borderline ridiculous. Like, that's a whole nother show.
That's not borderline ridiculous. That is like
all across the world ridiculous.
Beans and red rice for a year and nothing but squats is what that is.
It looked delicious.
It just doesn't even look right. It looks like a created player from the fucking video game. Like, okay,
just keep,
S size, all the way up.
Turn that up.
There's Tony Storm, everybody.
Nom.
Look, it looks like you shoved 2 delicious hams down the back of her pants.
Groceries.
That led to a 6-women tag team match where Rhea Ripley, Tony Storm, and Candice LeRae got the win. Dusty Rhodes Classic match. This tournament started with Imperium and the Forgotten Sons. That was a really solid match. Good tag team match.
I like the way they attempted to try to put the Forgotten Sons over. Like they made it to the finals last time we did this.
Yeah, and they looked good in that match.
They are a good team, but nobody cares about them.
Nope.
You know where they fucked up? WWE fucked up. They released the card for Worlds Collide, and on that card it's Imperium
versus Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era. So clearly, Imperium's not winning the Dusty Rhodes Classic.
Right.
Nor is UE.
Also, it's Pete Dunne and somebody else. And Matt Riddle versus somebody else on said card.
Mm-hmm. Kushida.
So they're not winning. It just really are. Yeah, I'm sorry. It was Era versus Imperium. So those 2 teams are clearly not winning.
Right.
But that's also why I think Imperium's going to take the tag titles today. Mm-hmm. So then you'll have all the NXT UK gold versus all of the NXT gold in one match.
Yeah. I agreed with that too. Smitty, we're going to get your picks in a few minutes, even though it's already started. But Austin Theory versus Joaquin Wilde. Austin
Nice
Theory,
showcase.
Austin Theory looked good in the ring. The match, I mean, it wasn't anything.
It was a
great.
showcase match.
Yeah, Austin Theory looked good. Another Dusty Rhodes Classic with Undisputed Era versus Gallus, and Undisputed Era going over in that match.
Gallus are the current tag team champions in the UK.
Yep. Johnny Gargano calling out Finn Balor for walking out on NXT and go ahead. What?
19 points for the women's match. I nailed the near falls, and I got everything fucking right. Every single fucking thing.
Well, now I got to refresh that.
Uh-huh. I got everything right in the Trent 7 match, minus the near falls.
God damn it.
It looks like I lost all of the Tyler Bate match.
Wait.
I don't know if that's happening.
You
yet.
picked Kaylee Ray, right?
I picked Kaylee Ray.
I picked Kaylee Ray.
Yeah, and I should have, because I would have had the fall type. I had taking the fall.
Yep, I had fall type, taking the fall. I nailed the 6 near falls. I got the 2 extra points for that, and then I nailed the aerial moves.
I had 7 near falls.
I got 11 on the women's match.
6 aerial moves. I nailed the aerial moves, so I got 14. So I would have tied you on that match. God damn it.
Yeah, see, Nick?
Same shit again. Don't ever change your picks on this
is
shit.
why you're just a transitional champion.
Fuck that.
I got the near falls and Kaylee Ray pin.
Did anybody get points for the Devlin match, or is that going on right now?
That may be going on right now.
I got it. Yeah.
You got points?
Uh-huh. I had 11 points.
Oh, that's over already?
Dennis by pin, 6 near falls.
No, not Dennis. The Devlin.
Devlin Bate.
Oh, Devlin, no.
Okay, cool. Yeah, what'd you get for 7 and Dennis?
I only got 3.
I got 11.
I got 8. Because I got Dennis pin, and then I didn't get the near falls.
So
all I got was a pin.
25 right now.
I got 27, bitch. Give me that title.
Hey, listen.
Don't forget it's all the end of the month right now.
Who won at New Japan weekend? And I don't even watch New Japan. I don't remember who won.
Nobody fucking cares.
Who won
It's
that
the only scorecard that Joe's filled out in like the past 3 months.
All right, let's continue.
Get back to NXT. Johnny Gargano calling out Finn Balor for walking out on NXT. You know, you dropped the flag. And
They also didn't that lead to the Portland match possibly? Right? If I'm correct.
That's where Balor challenged Gargano. And Portland doesn't even happen until the end of February. We also had Mia Yim, and Caden Carter. Caden Carter getting her ass kicked again. I mean, she looks okay, but she's just in these matches.
Was it a
She's not
showcase
getting
match?
over. Yeah. And then the main event, we had Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic, Damian Priest, and Cameron Grimes. I'm not really sure why Cameron Grimes was in this match. I felt like
But he had a good showing.
He did, and that's why, like, at first I was like, why is he here? I mean, they're just kind of shoving him into this, but yeah, he had a really good match.
He proved his worth.
Keith Lee going over in this one. Now he is the new #1 contender for the North American Championship.
This is the breakout guy. This guy said it's going to break out in 2020. It's Keith Lee.
Bask in his glory.
And he deserves it. He really does. Like, and if they don't put that title on him, as much as I like Roddy, Keith needs it more now.
Well,
you need to do something with him. It's something big.
So that match is going to happen in 2 weeks.
Keith Lee versus Roderick Strong for the North American Championship.
Are they going to take it away from Roderick Strong? He hasn't had it that long.
Well, nobody's really had it that long
He's
except
had
Adam
it
Cole.
a decent amount of time.
Since just before Survivor Series, I think.
Yeah, but Adam Cole had it for about the same length of time that Roderick has it now.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dream took it, and Dream had it for a while. Mm-hmm. And if Dream didn't get injured, he might still have it.
Because honestly, you know what I can see is Keith Lee holding it and Dream coming back as a heel. And with Keith Lee being the hottest thing in NXT at this point, hottest babyface in NXT, having Dream come in and be a heel, like, you stole my spotlight and I want it back as a heel. And I think those two will have some really good matches together.
I think when Dream comes back, he's going for the actual title. That or they're going to put him in the Royal Rumble and he's going to move up to the main roster.
Please don't.
I don't know. I could see that happening too.
He's such a talent that it's hard. Not saying that, Adam Cole or anybody isn't, but Adam Cole's like your foundation of NXT right now.
Him, Gargano.
And Velveteen Dream just oozes charisma. No pun intended, but the kid is just a charisma factory.
And he's not even 25.
Yeah. Right. Which is the only reason I see them keeping him in NXT. Only because if you put him up now, you're either going to ruin this kid's career because you're not going to have anything for him to do, and he's going to lose all head of steam, or you're going to push him to the moon, and by the time he's 30, he's going to do everything, and what else is there left for him to do?
Right. And that's my biggest thing is I like them keeping these guys like that on NXT now because before it was developmental. Let's push them, and then get them up to the main roster. You don't even have to do that now because NXT is such an up-and-coming
own thing.
Well, the problem is with you not bringing people up to the main roster now. Now NXT, not yet, but in another year or so, is going to just have so much talent, you're going to have guys that fall by the wayside because you can't have everybody. You can't have something for everybody to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's one of the things about NXT. They don't when they feature people, it's not the same people every week.
I understand that,
and it keeps them.
But what I'm telling you is, the reason they don't push people every week is they were only on TV for an hour, so it was really easy to push a storyline, especially when you only have 4 pay-per-views a year. This is why wrestling used to be so good. There used to be a longer build because there wasn't a pay-per-view every month.
Yeah,
and you only had an hour show, so. One week you showcase this, the next week you showcase this. NXT for the longest time had the champion on once a month, which
maybe twice, depending on what
which was fine. I mean, you'd have promos and shit like that, but it was old school where the champion's wrestling. It's important. It used to be if Brett was wrestling on Monday Night Raw and he was the champion, it was a big fucking deal because Brett didn't used to wrestle on Raw. He used to wrestle at pay-per-views. But now you're on for 2 hours, which I think is a perfect amount of time for a wrestling show. No matter what you are, AEW, Raw, SmackDown, 2 hours is perfect.
I agree.
But NXT is getting to the point where they're developing so much talent, and there's guys getting over organically, like Keith Lee. They weren't ready to put Keith Lee in this position, but Keith Lee went up to the main roster and made himself a big deal and came off looking like a fucking star. So now you got guys like Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, all 4 guys from Undisputed Era. You got
Rhea Ripley,
Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. You're already starting to get overflooded with talent to the point where what are you going to do with all these guys? Not all of them can be the champion. Yeah. Not all of them can do that. You know what I mean?
You could build a bet. You could build a mid card.
Well,
but they already have a decent mid card. But the problem is when you have all this talent in one place, somebody somewhere is gonna get left behind. It's just the way it is.
Well, I think at some point you got to put the lid on the bottle. Stop trying to get. Let's get this new guy. Let's sign this guy. Let's sign. It's not a fucking football team.
Do what they did with Riddle and Pete Dunne and make them a tag team and have them go on a nice little run because those are 2 younger guys that are going to be big name players eventually.
But right now is literally the whole UK brand's pretty much biggest star. Right
Pete
now.
Dunne is going to, but Pete Dunne, like Dream, is only 23, 24 years old. You're literally watching your future main roster stars on NXT right now.
Yeah.
But again, you can't push them all to the moon at the same time because then you have nobody on Earth.
Right.
So you make Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle a tag team. That keeps them out of the title picture for a while because right now it's Adam Cole and
Tommaso
Ciampa and Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano. Now you're doing your Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor thing, but whoever wins that match is automatically in the title picture as far as I'm concerned. So again, eventually you're going to get oversaturated with talent and you're not going to have something for everybody to do, and you're going to run into that main roster problem where all right, these guys are really talented, but we don't have anything for them to do, so go out and squash them.
I just wish they could find a better balance. You have these guys, yes, on the main roster, Raw and SmackDown, that are really good talents, and they're not being used. And there's rumors that this dude is going to get signed to WWE. For fucking why? Why would you? Because
they can't go anywhere else.
But if I'm that guy that they're going to sign, well, I'm a star. Like in my mind, I was over here and I was the fucking top dog. Why am I going to go to WWE for a couple more dollars? Like if for me, I'm prideful.
First of all, it's more than a couple more dollars, or people wouldn't sign.
But like if
Rhino even said this in a recent podcast, he said he was pretty much getting paid to sit in catering.
But and that's what
EC3 is getting paid for.
Why? But like if you're a quarterback in the NFL, why? And you're the best quarterback, and you're only 5 years into your career, you're going to go to the Miami Dolphins, and you're just going to sit on the bench for the next 3 years because we don't.
But here's the thing: if they're going to pay me $2.5 million to not play and not get hurt, and
I guess.
Well, that's what contracts have gotten to.
Yeah.
Vince is like doing the WCW thing right now, where
I
don't give a fuck who you are. I'm going to sign you just so they can't, and then I'm going to pay you. But now you're saying
I want to wrestle.
I'm a top guy here. I want to be a top guy here. You put that into your contract. If they don't want to give that to you, if they don't want to put that in writing, you can go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or you can sit at home and get paid a lot of money to just sit there and do nothing.
It's true. I want to wrestle, though. You know what I mean?
I get it.
People's passion for it.
Yeah.
The people get into this industry for passion.
And the other thing, the part we don't see is we don't see a lot of these guys on TV, but a lot of them do the live events.
Yeah.
So, that's the stuff we don't see. But being at a live event doesn't get you notoriety.
Right.
You may have some really good dark matches, but if nobody on TV sees it, what's your worth in the company?
It's a sticky business.
By the way, Brody Lee.
Are you talking about Tony Storm's ass again?
Yes. Yep.
By the way, Brody Lee is going to be the new member of the Inner Circle. He's going to cost John Moxley, hot take. He's going to cost John Moxley the championship at Revolution.
Okay, so let's talk about that. We'll get an AEW before we go. First things first. Moxley answering Jericho at the end of the night.
One of the best bills in that fucking segment.
He comes out and he goes in the ring. He's got his jacket zipped up and he's doing his thing. And then he said, "Yes, I accept." And I think for a minute,
some people bought into it.
Some people bought into it. I didn't. I thought it was great, but some people bought into it for a hot minute.
And they drug it out, though.
That's why, because they drug it out for nearly the whole entire time that the AEW Dynamite was on the air up until about a minute or so before they ended.
That means Jericho had creative control of that segment.
And I hope he did, because that was great. And then the bottle that Moxley smashed over Jericho's head, that was great.
Sugar glass.
Yeah, that's fine, but it looked good.
The whole Rocky Apollo Creed scene that they kind of reenacted, him and Hager and Jericho reenacted at the end.
I liked the way that played out. We're going to see Mox and Jericho at Revolution. Are we going to see Moxley get the title?
Nope.
You look like you were going to say something.
The only problem with giving Moxley the title is your first two champions were WWE guys.
I agree.
I think Brody Lee is the next member of the Inner Circle. He cost Moxley the championship at Revolution.
So Luke Harper comes out
because
is his 90 days up? I know they granted
it's February. So his 90 days up in February.
Okay,
and that's what.
So that'd be like a shocker. Another former WWE guy.
That or Brody Lee comes back and helps John Moxley.
He's been booked and seen with Sammy Guevara at a lot of indie shows over the last couple of weeks.
Who, Luke Harper?
Yep.
Okay.
He's been booked. He's been booked for his first couple indie shows with Sammy Guevara.
But more to my point, that could mean he's in Moxley's corner if he's wrestling the Inner Circle.
Is it possible that they give the strap to Moxley and then we do see the first two AEW champions as former WWE? I mean, the odds.
It's possible. They are your two biggest names.
Yeah,
but you're trying to build a company. You're trying to stand on your own two legs. Cody can't even cut a promo without mentioning the other wrestling company. And then your first two champions are a WWE legend and then Dean Ambrose.
A misused WWE talent.
He wasn't I don't think he was that misused. I just don't think they gave him the the freedom that AEW has given him, because he was a multiple-time champion in WWE. That's not failure.
Or 2-time IC champion, 1-time United States champion, WWE champion, 1-time tag champion.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, so the accolades are there. It's not like he was misused. He was used, clearly. They didn't give him the creative freedom. They found out that, hey, this guy's kind of funny, so they started writing him comedy bits, and he's like, fuck you, this is stupid. But I just think it hurts it might help put eyes on the product, but I think it ultimately hurts what AEW is trying to do by making your first 2 main champions WWE guys.
Mm-hmm.
That, I don't know.
I see your point, and I think that I like the idea if Moxley wins the title from Jericho, but I don't think it's smart.
Is it time yet? Like, shouldn't Jericho hold it a little bit?
A little bit longer.
This is that to the whole point of the longer a champion holds the belt, the more special of a moment when he actually loses the belt.
And and you're teetering on a fine line, because I think you could give the title to Moxley eventually and have him take it from Jericho and be the second, but it's not smart to do it now because, he needs more time with that belt because it does need to be special.
I mean, what are your other options?
I think
your other options are you give it to Cody, you give it to...
Nope, Cody can't vie for it.
I'm spitballing here. So you give it to Cody, you give it to Omega, you give it to Hangman. Now it's all the guys.
Page is slow burning.
Now all the EVPs or their friends can, So it's really a double-edged sword either way you look at it. Either it's a WWE guy, or
it's an elite guy.
It's an elite, one of the elite, and then it looks like you're just putting yourself over because you're in power, like shit like that.
But they've not had enough time to build anybody else up yet.
I totally agree, which is more of a reason not to take the title off of Jericho.
Yeah, and then it will be special, whoever takes it from him, no matter what. But you could argue MJF, but I think it's too early for that. Yeah, he hasn't had enough time.
He hasn't had a proper feud yet.
But MJF would, in real life, he is good friends with Cody, so it is like an EVP's friend, but they're feuding in the company, and he's virtually like as close to a homegrown AEW talent as you could possibly get at this point in the company.
So
Darby Allin.
What's worse, having a WWE guy, former WWE guy, as the second champion, or having somebody that's in that EVP group?
I think they're about the same. I think it hurts you either way. I think it hurts.
I don't think the EVP
I don't think it hurts you ratings wise or fan wise. I think it hurts what your overall mission statement is. Like, you want to be different than the other company, but you're using the other company's talent to get your company over.
Would you saying that brings me to the point? I think it's worse if another WWE guy becomes your second champion. At least if one of the EVP or a friend of the EVPs go over as a second champion, is not the first champion. Mm-hmm. I think would have been a bigger problem if Adam Page had that title first at this point, because at that point you are just saying we're getting ourselves over. At this point, somebody else has already got the title. The title's over, and even if no matter who beats him, if it's an EVP, most likely Omega. Omega has history with Jericho, and has nothing to do with WWE. The history of Jericho and Omega goes back to Japan.
So you think maybe we could see Omega and Jericho rematch at Double or Nothing too?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think it hurts more if Moxley takes the title over somebody from the elite.
It's almost as if they were like, okay, all right, we got our roster, we got our name, T-shirts. This is who we're going to make our first champion. Now what? Now what do we do? There's no sense of that long-term booking. Okay, we did it, and now we're just...
No, see, I kind of disagree. Because long-term booking, you can just keep the belt on Jericho. And it makes sense. Mm-hmm. And you know what I mean? Like, going forward, you could just keep the belt on Jericho, and with
until you build somebody.
With his little group of cronies and everything, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It also gives you time to build somebody if they're EVP or not.
That's another reason why I think it's too early to take it from them, because
the other problem I'm seeing with this whole ranking system of who, like, I don't understand certain things. Like, I don't understand why.
I feel like they're trying to fix it.
If it's based off ranking system alone, who get the title shot, then why is there a fucking fatal 4-way tag team match with the winner getting a fucking tag team title shot? Shouldn't it be whoever's number one? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, the only way it does make sense is if there's like a 4-way tie for number one, so you have a match to determine.
Also, right now, they reset. They reset the records at the beginning of the year.
And they didn't, because Adam Page came out on Wednesday and his record was 6-7.
No, say career. It's because the way it goes, that's a career
showed
overall.
both.
They
only showed the one when.
Well, he hasn't had a match yet.
He did. Him and Omega faced who the fuck ever it was.
On January 1st?
On January, whatever this past Wednesday was.
Well, no, so he hadn't had a match in 2020.
He hasn't had a match in 2020.
Because that first one, he was drinking with Private Party.
And then this past week, he had a match. It was him and Omega versus somebody.
Right, but what he's saying is when he came down to the ring, it said that 6-7. But
And it said career. It said career total.
You know, it just flashed the 6-7. It
Yeah.
didn't. There was no other stat.
Well, bottom line is there is no consistency with that.
Yeah.
And
So they reset it. So he hasn't had a singles match in 2020. So for singles title, he's whatever and whatever.
Well, and then Excalibur said,
Exhibit.
Yeah, he said, well, the wins are weighted. He just made mention of that. He didn't go into it. Okay, well,
Which we did talk about. Like,
Yeah.
if you beat a champion, like they should almost get away from the actual physical numbers of being like 1-0 or 1-1 and shit like that, and do it like hockey or basketball where it's a point system. Like,
Yes.
a win gets you 2 points, a draw gets you 1 point.
Impact tried doing that for a minute.
But then you can weigh the wins and losses. Like,
That's why Scorpio Sky got his title shot.
If you pin the champion in a non-title match, you get 3 points.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, there's
or
ways.
if you pin the number one contender, or there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, like
I don't
if you
understand why they
pin
haven't
somebody
done that.
in the top 10 ranking, you get an extra half a point, or or something like that.
That's my gripe. Why haven't you fucking established that? Why haven't you established
I think
that?
they're still figuring out. I think this is what they want to do, and they want to be more realistic, but they still haven't figured out a good system of doing it. Because clearly, just having wins and losses is not really working out, at least in the first 15 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe a point system will be better. Maybe by next year, they'll just 86 this whole thing together because this is fucking wrestling. And they're like, hey, like, we do some things that don't make sense sometimes, so we can't try and make sense of this.
I don't know, man. There's so many variables to it all. And
then every time you fuck up and you give Hangman Page a 0-7 record, we'll just reset it. It's like playing a video game. Oh, I don't like this. I'm just going to hit reset.
It's disappointing. You know,
to an extent, yeah.
It's like I feel like they're trying to fix it as it goes, and that's like when you.
Well, as they should, though. I mean, that I agree with. They should. I mean, it's like ironing a shirt. You iron out the wrinkles one at a time, and eventually, you have a nice straight shirt.
So that was the point I was getting to. Like, give it some time. Maybe they can fix it before they just try to scrap it.
Yeah, I'm not writing them off by any stretch of the imagination yet.
And that's fine, but you guys forget that most wrestling fans are not patient people.
No, yeah, and that's clearly evident when you look at these message boards and Facebook groups, and they were like, AEW gets one shot, and now they're like, fuck them. You know what I mean? But they did have a good show on Wednesday.
Well, people thought they were going to come out the gate and just be this big juggernaut, and it's like,
Yeah,
hey
no.
guys, like, it even took Vince years to, like, when Monday Night Raw started, it was a 1 hour show in the same fucking building for like 5 years before it took off into what it is now. The one thing that AEW has on NXT is kind of doctored because it's in front of the same fucking crowd,
Which
at the
may
same
change in
fucking
October.
place every time, which is fine because WWE has more resources to do what AEW is doing now, but they at least travel, so their fan base is growing because they're going to different places. They're not just in Florida.
Still no Detroit date. We had this conversation before.
You got to remember, this goes back to territory days. Vince owns the East Coast.
Yeah.
And that part of the Midwest.
They were in New Jersey. They're in Pennsylvania. They're going to Cleveland.
Did you ever notice
the Rock and
how
Ranger?
They're like, this was a couple weeks ago. They were in one part of Texas 1 week, and then the following week they were in a different part of Texas, like lower, more towards the border. But it's like, wow, so you had you guys fly out of Texas just to fly back into Texas.
Yeah.
But I think the best way it was put was like Double or Nothing set the bar way too high for AEW in general. Because everything else under Double or Nothing, we've all said has been kind of underwhelming. It's been good, but not.
I disagree with that statement because Double or Nothing with the bar they set is the reason AEW has their TV contract.
Yeah.
So if they didn't set the bar that fucking high, they might not have a contract with TNT.
Well, yeah, like if Double or Nothing was like Fyter Fest.
Oh, yeah. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so setting the bar that high was a must. I mean, getting back to that bar is obviously your goal and then exceeding it. But if you don't set the bar that high, you don't have a wrestling
TNT,
you don't have a wrestling company. Because without a TV contract, unfortunately, I got to go with the Smarks on this one. You're just a T-shirt company that wrestles occasionally.
One more thing before we go. This pissed me off about AEW the other night. I don't know. It was a few weeks ago when we had the Dark Order all in the ring, and one of the little minion dudes was just throwing these terrible blows. Right?
Dustin.
And the camera angle caught it all.
So Awesome Kong did this.
By the way, shout out to Dustin Rhodes for hitting those destroyers week after week.
Until the one time he doesn't, and someone ends up paralyzed.
Awesome Kong pulled this off the other day when she was on top of Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
And her strikes, it must have been 5 or 6 of them, were just
hit straight to the
motion. But she wasn't even throwing punches. She had her arms stiff and was just moving her body like this. And I'm like,
all right, listen, man.
What the fuck?
What really pisses me off is you don't call her by her actual fucking name. She's the welfare queen, all right?
Let's get that straight first and foremost.
I will say this, though. I wouldn't want to get hit by Awesome Kong, fake or real.
I don't know, man.
That's a huge woman.
It looked really bad, and
I think her and Karma would be a good matchup.
There were just a couple times, especially the women's division in AEW is really
lacking.
Not
really lacking. Like Brandy
all.
Rhodes really dropped the fucking ball.
Well, because then when you look at shit,
it's Brandy and Kenny, which means there must be some miscommunication there.
You look at NXT's women division or WWE, and it's so much.
Look at Impact's women's division. I mean, look anyway.
To me, it's the best.
Even go to NWA. Their women's division is kind of stacked with talent.
Yeah.
Whereas they never should have put the title on Rio to begin with.
No.
Once again,
especially because what was it? She won the title, and then we didn't see her on TV for 6 weeks. And when we did, she was sitting in the fucking crowd.
Mm-hmm. And she's had one match since.
Right,
maybe 2.
Yeah, like
she had the full gear match with Amy Sakura. She had
what they need to enforce, and this was one of my favorite rules about wrestling growing up, as fictitious as it's become, is if you don't defend your title in 30 days, you must. Now you don't have to make it 30 days. You can make it 60. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like nowadays, like there's a lot of fucking titles, so but whatever you make it. Stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, because when Daniel Bryan had to, forfeit his title, it was because he couldn't defend his title in the next 90 days.
Balor, Michaels.
Well, Balor was going to be out for a year. Michaels, and same with Michaels. But it used to be like, but now Brock can go 6 months without defending his title, without showing up on TV, but it's okay.
Right.
Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Granted, they haven't mentioned the old rule. But back in the day, it was if you don't defend, like Sergeant Slaughter was the commissioner at the time, and he used to have to force people into defending their championship,
or the European title,
or they'd have to forfeit it because they didn't meet their contractual regulations.
Yeah, and And there should be that, especially when you're a new company and you have this new star to many people, not you, Smitty, new star like Rio.
You don't like black people?
Well, I'm just saying because, he had made mention like that, you're familiar with her and what she's done.
I'm familiar because I watched Stardom, and she's the current mock speed champion, which is the style that she wrestles on a regular basis.
That's great, but who gives a fuck? Because she's in AEW now. What have you done for me lately? You know what I mean?
Especially because
she's also splitting her time between there and Stardom.
That's
then
great.
she shouldn't be your champion.
Right.
Your champion should be somebody that can potentially be there every week. If you cannot, I'm not saying you have to be there every week, but you need to. You can't have anything else lined up. If we need you, we need you, and that's the way it should be. And
I agree with you with that because I didn't know she was still with Stardom until like back in
and then
October.
Her whole title reign started, and she's facing the mastodon that is fucking Nyla Rose that literally makes her look like a 10-year-old girl. Like, there's no way she should have beat Nyla Rose. Like, in any way, shape, or form, I'm sorry, but when you have that big of a size difference, there's no fucking way. It's not fucking believable.
Well, I like her. I like Rio a lot. I think she's really good, but I think it was that's one of those things that was too soon.
I think you could have built her up. And then she could wrestle once every 6 weeks. She could have chased the fucking title. And then, like, let's say they put it on Nyla Rose first, which we know.
That would have been a whole nother can of worms.
You're right, but at least the title would be featured every week. But then you have Rio.
It wouldn't have fit.
That, whole David versus Goliath. Now you're building her up to make her slingshot, more accurate for fucking Goliath. But or you have Awesome Kong versus Nyla Rose. Or, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different things you can do, but you can't do it if your champ's not there.
Right. Well, and then on top of that, I'm sorry, their women's division sucks. I mean,
I don't think it sucks. I think
individually they're good.
Well, let's see. We have an alien, a transgender beast, a 90-pound Chinese girl.
Japanese, you racist asshole. Japanese bitch.
My bad.
And where's the Io Shirai?
A
Japanese bitch.
Okay, hold on. A 90-pound Asian woman. And then from there, you have like the Nightmare Collective with Brandy Rose, who can't really wrestle, but I don't care because she's like
fine as fuck.
She's no, not even fine as fuck. Just she's a EVP technically, so she doesn't need to wrestle. But then you have her going around with Awesome Kong and shaving everybody's fucking head so everybody can look like 2007 Britney. Come on now.
It's just a clusterfuck. It doesn't make any sense. There's no chemistry between these women. They're individually, they're good wrestlers. But when you put them in the ring together, the matches just, to me, more often than not, don't work.
In other words, they need better coaches over there in the women's division to make it flow better.
Yeah, and that's why I said I'm sure Rio is great, and these other women are great outside of what they've done in AEW. They've done great things, but where they're at now,
Britt Baker. I don't like Britt Baker.
I don't give a shit.
Why not?
About
him. Are you afraid of the dentist?
No, she doesn't sell, like, she has, like, a lot of people's problem with indie wrestlers. They say that they don't sell. Britt Baker's a huge person that does not sell offense. But then also she's been apparently she had horror stories about her about how she's a locker room, the whole Tessa thing, like a lot of whole locker room, like, 'cause I follow a lot of women's wrestling. And apparently Britt Baker's a locker room bully as well.
Okay, so this is going to be the last thing, then we got to go. You mentioned Tessa Blanchard. We were talking about it earlier on before you got here, and I wanted you to be here for it, but it just kind of happened, and we, discussed her comments to other women's wrestlers, many women's wrestlers. Apparently, there's at least 3 or 4. One of them being Shauna, that's in AEW. Black Rose, who is this wrestler from Puerto Rico,
that's who all this started.
That's who started with.
Japan.
So, what's your take on it?
Okay, so when I first read this, I was like, as a fan of Tessa. I'm like,
I'm up on you 41 to 34.
I'm pretty much giving a finger wave, like, shame. But then there's also
shame.
But there's also women wrestlers that have come forward defending this, like, this is something that happened in the past. It's like she's and then like a Big Swole is one person who's also with AEW. She put out a couple statements herself. She said, I talked to both of these women. And from what I understand, things have been hashed out. So at this point, could you just leave her alone? my issue with this now is like I had this conversation with Walt, and we were talking about like he's like when you're at the top, your skeletons eventually come out. I'm like this, but why wait till you have Tessa Blanchard's getting the biggest push a woman has gotten in this industry
because her dumb ass wanted to say something about, hey, ladies, it's a lot better when we support each other. So all these women who she hasn't supported over the years is like, okay, pots and kettles. Like that's all that happened. Like had Tessa Blanchard not
shut the fuck up,
had she not made that comment, none of this would happen. But since she wants to make that comment, everyone's like, oh, you're a fucking hypocrite, and here's how.
But then there's also the women that have come to her defense as well. Women like Big Swole was one that I took screenshots of this one. Just
all right. Quick side story about Big Swole though. So SmackDown Detroit a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I was sitting in the nosebleeds by some basement dwellers. And one guy was going fucking like, yeah, they got Big Swole. None of y'all know about Big Swole. And I'm thinking in my head, like, do I turn around and tell this motherfucker that I was smoking blunts with Big Swole at Starcast, or do I just let him be? It's so annoying.
Yeah.
So Kiera Hogan came out in her defense as well. And
well, we know every Hogan's racist, so there's that.
You know Kiera Hogan's black, right?
Whatever.
And these are two black women.
I didn't know that, but now I do.
These are two black women that came out to Tessa's defense. And
what do they say? She never spit in my face?
No, like Big Swole said, there like the same thing I said, like with all the statements that came out, there is some truth to what has happened in Japan when she was in Japan. But then Adrenaline, who's Diamante, Adrenaline, whatever. I forget. I only know her from what I've seen of women of wrestling. She's come out and said, like, okay, she did what she did. She's apologized and she's evolved and not done anything since then. So why are you bringing this up now?
Is it partial jealousy?
I think part of it is jealousy.
Yeah,
she's getting the biggest push a woman has gotten in this industry since Joni Lauder. And like, I'm still like. Don't get me wrong, I am not defending anything she did in 2016, 2017 in Japan. What you did was wrong. It's fucked up. Shame on you. Finger wave. Shame, shame. But I've been a victim of bullying my whole life. I've been a victim of racism. There's nothing you can do about what's already been done. All you can do is evolve.
Back in the tube.
See, all you can do is hope that somebody gets better.
With that being said, we're going to get better next week because Mikey will be here.
Yeah, sorry about being late.
I think this was a pretty good show, guys.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. I just was looking for a segue. Yeah, it was a good show. Thanks, everybody, tuning in. Don't forget, NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2 is on right now. Tonight, Impact, Hard Times.
There's only 2 matches left.
Hard to kill.
Hard to kill. I did it. See? I know I didn't do it earlier, and now I did it. Hard Times NWA is in 2 weeks on Friday. NXT World Collides is the 25th. We're going to be downtown at Buffalo Wild Wings on Randolph Street on January 26th for the Royal fucking Rumble. Be there. We have got giveaways. We do all kinds of fun shit, scorecards, all that good stuff. In the meantime, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on all of our social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Check out Smitty's Tinder and his
I killed that one too.
All that good
That's
stuff.
exactly what I got.
But at any rate, we are your ring crew.
The man on BPT, Smitty.
The man on what?
Black People Time.
Oh, yeah, or CPT, you know. Either way you want to look at it. I'm Z.
And I'm your host for the day, Nick. And we are out.
There's only 2 matches left for UK.